Now, back to Rex Hunt with Shane Healy.
And Graham Bond is on centre wing, and here he is with his ground report.
Thanks, Rex. Danny Frawley's won the toss, and St Kilda will be kicking with the aid of, I'd say, a 2 or 3 goal breeze. Just looking at the skies in the west, we're in for a wet afternoon here at Waverley. Tim Pekin playing his 200th game, and Craig Scholl for North Melbourne playing his 100th. Back to you in the commentary position.
And that's for Samsung Bondi's game report. Any other late changes around the grounds? Optus Oval with KB.
Only what we said earlier. We've got Timmy Allen coming into the side for Jarman, and also Charles out of the side, and Gilbert comes in for the Demons.
Thank you. Here we go here at Waverley. Umpire Hayden Kennedy's got the football. It's brand new, brand spanking new as the sun goes behind the clouds here, and the umpire rams it into the rubber knob. It comes up, and Big McKernan got the knockout. Went to Allison. Tim Pekin playing his 200th game was dispossessed. It came through, kicked off the ground by Harvey of St Kilda. Nathan Burke got one to go on with Stacks on the mill, and even in the first 15 seconds of play, you can feel it here. And it's feeling here at the Waverley Park as Pluggers lined up on Martin down at the Wellington Road end, and the ball's in the air. It's knocked out by Everett, went to Burke. Burke of St Kilda, Nathan Burke inside 50, picked up by Fairley, and a worm burner came out. Here he comes. It's okay. Keogh couldn't get it, but coming through Archer, got a hand pass to Allison, got it off further, and here come North Melbourne. They're going to bring it along the wing position with King going to centre half forward, looking for Carey, couldn't get there. McKernan overran the football. Here comes Big Everett. Allison right on his hammer, and the football goes over the boundary line and out of bounds before Stevens and Allison could get it going. Gary Bryce out at Western Oval.
There's been a change in the Geelong side, Rex. Barry Stoneham is out, hurt a groin during the week, and Steve Handley has come in to replace him.
It's a huge loss. Thank you very much. Spinning back into play, and it came out the hand pass from Anderson, found Harvey. Harvey found Keogh. Keogh for St Kilda, got it across towards Darren Burke. He kicked it inside 50. Here comes Plugger, but leading in the race for the ball, Mick Martin. Magnificent play, Martin. Rock of Gibraltar, bang with a long kick to centre half forward to Carey. Punched away from Frawley. It's tough, it's rugged. It's a good standard game thus far, and the football is now in the hands of umpire Tim Pfeiffer. No score on the 3RW Channel 7 scoreboard. Right around the nation, St Kilda versus North Melbourne on the number 1 footy station.
And Saints to the main scoreboard with maybe a little bit of breeze, and North's got the chance now. Good hand pass, Allison. Found Ramiro. Pass into the forward line. And Longmire has come out in front of Shanahan to take the mark. Johnny Longmire is 45 metres from goal up there to the small scoreboard or western end. It's getting pretty grey out there, as Bondi reported. Much breeze, Graham?
Yes, I'd say St Kilda would probably have a couple of goal advantage at the moment.
Longmire has kicked very poorly right across the face. Carey's taken a mark, but I think it was over the line. No,
oh, he's paid
it.
Good God.
He's paid it. Gee whiz, he looked to be over the boundary line for sure. He's right next to the point post. Welcome back to footy, Wayne Carey. He's kicked a goal. Oh, great stuff from the best player in the land. Carey kicks an early contender for the Mobiltronics goal of the day. We're looking on replay. It certainly appears to have been over the line.
Now look, honestly and truly, Shane, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with the umpires. That ball is so far out of bounds, it's a joke. They've got a goal umpire looking at it. They've got a boundary umpire looking at it. And if that won a grand final, they would lynch the umpires if that won a grand final.
That was disgraceful. The football back in the centre, knocked out by McKernan. Here come North Melbourne again. Scholl got it out of the centre, and they go inside 50 with Allison again. Here comes Carey. The ball bounced out outside 50. Carey spun on a sixpence, and his worm burner went inside 50. Here comes Anderson for St Kilda. Got a hand pass to Harvey. Got it to Nathan Burke. Burke hand passed it off to Grant. He's on the left half-back flank. Gets it down towards the centre wing position. Here comes a race in 2. Burke gets it around the corner there. That was Bardsley. His little kick went across towards half forward, picked up by Mann. He got it off further to King of North Melbourne. King goes long with a long football looking for Carey, but McKernan comes in, and the two-prong attack is working well, and 2 prongs will always beat 1.
And McKernan's got young Wakeland playing on him. He kicks out to a big lead of Adrian McAdam. Grant goes with him. Saints have got support here. Well done, young Matthew Lappin playing in the long sleeves. He decides now to kick out toward the boundary. Half-back flank out of side. It wobbles over, and we're going to have a throw-in. We've travelled 4 minutes of the opening quarter.
And Kevin Bartlett, your score, please. Thank you very much.
Scores a level, 1 goal apiece.
Who's playing?
That's Melbourne and Hawthorn. I'm just about to tell you that. And also Crawford's kicked the first goal for Hawthorn and Martin Pike for the Demons.
I'm sorry to be interrupting as rain is pelting down here at Waverley Park. The umbrellas are up and it's out of bounds. What do you mean it's pelting down? It's all right with you blokes with hair. When you got no hair, it's pelting because my little scone would be wet and it hasn't been wet since the Parkdale Methodists just gave me the old christening job. The football back into the stadium. Everett Hand passed over the top. He got it down further to Darren Burke. He brought it across his body and went to right half forward looking for Bardsley. Up there is Laidley, who was interfered with, said the umpire, and rain is pelting down here. If you haven't got an umbrella, you're going to get wet, you idiot, Shane.
Well, here's the kick now from that player in Laidley of North, kicking into a bit of a breeze. North's got a goal early. Saints yet to score. Pack develops after that kick, holding the ball against the Roos. Wayne Schwass doesn't like it. Free kick to Damon Shaw. Pretty dark here, and they want 50, the Saints supporters. They're not going to get it. So Damon Shaw up towards centre half forward. Not a well-placed kick. And in chips Archer to take the mark for North Melbourne. Gets the hand pass at the back of the square going to Peter Mann. They've got players running loose here, North Melbourne. Up on the half forward line, Ramiro's the target. Gets away from Nathan Burke. Darts around onto the left foot. Kicks round the corner. Up to a very open forward line. Everett gets back. Well done. And then dropped the mark after doing all the hard work. It spills to Carey. And Carey's kicked another brilliant goal, has he? Now it's been marked on the line and rushed through for a point. David Grant took the mark, and it is going to be a mark. So it was rushed over for a point, but Grant takes it now, goes wide for the Saints. He's looking for Darren Burke. He can't pick it up. Wakeland goes in. It might be a ball up here on 50. North Melbourne in attack.
Oh, no, it's raining. You wouldn't believe it.
The great problem for St Kilda is going to be, Shane, is that Lockett might kick them 10 goals, but that means they've got to get the thing down there 10 times. I don't think they've got the capabilities of doing that.
So it's going to be a slog here today as rain is now pelting down here at Waverley Park. A left half forward flank is the position of the football outer side for North Melbourne into the face of this breeze. The small scoreboard end that shows North Melbourne 1 straight goal 6. St Kilda yet to score on the 3RW Channel 7 scoreboard. KB, your score at Optus Oval.
Melbourne by 6 points, 2 straight goals, 12 points. Hawthorn 1 goal, 6 points.
Well, everything's getting wet. It's not pelting down. Have a look at the ink melting here in the rain as the football now is going into attack for North Melbourne. Coming out as McAdam can't get it knocked on by Longmire. To Carey! He has a long ping, but Allison couldn't stop it going over the boundary line and out of play. Peter Dacos, your score at the MCG.
Well, we haven't started here at the moment, Rex.
Well, there's no score.
No score. Kernahan's 1 to Tyson, kicking to the scoreboard end.
Thank you, Gary. Bryce will be going to you shortly as here comes McAdam, takes it in towards McKernan, and McKernan is marked at point-blank range for North Melbourne. It should be another one on the board.
And that's what happens when non-specialist rucks go up for the ruck. That ball was hit absolutely to the wrong position, a non-defensive position, and this has allowed this score for goal.
So McKernan has kicked a goal. It's as simple as that. It looks bad for St Kilda early. Real bad, as a matter of fact, because North Melbourne into the breeze at 2 straight goals, 12. St Kilda yet to score.
You see, what clubs do, of course, on the forward line is try and get the thing back into a goal-scoring area, and if you're defending, you push it down to the boundary. Now, Grant hit that out into a goal-scoring area, and it went straight to a player who kicked it to McKernan, so he has an easy shot at goal. Always let the specialist ruckman do their job. Don't go up if you're not a ruckman.
OK, Gary Bryce at the Western Oval, your score?
We're at the 8-minute mark. Geelong have the breeze at the current time, but Footscray lead. They're 1 goal. Geelong are 1 point.
Thank you very much. Here's Shane Healy on 3RW as Darren Burke comes off the ground.
Yes, he's an early casualty. He hasn't been replaced at this stage. It's the blood rule. He's got blood streaming from his nose. They're now going to bring on Michael Frost, by the looks of things, the Saints, and he charges on now here on the members' wing. The umpires held up the game, which is very unusual. I'm not sure why they would have been waiting so long,
Because he was ordered off.
The umpire ordered him off, Shane, so we had to wait till he completely got off the ground.
OK, well, he's been off a good 20 or 30 seconds now, and Frost is on. Still, we haven't started. Now we go. That was a shocking bounce. It favoured North Melbourne. Nathan Burke actually got the tap down. In goes King, who's been busy early. He couldn't pick up. Lappin and Keogh go after it. Ball kicked out of that player's grasp. In the end, Ramiro goes in. Umpire says free kick to North. Going to go to King. Gets the hand pass working. Across now toward Mann. Big, long kick up toward the forward line. Everett does the spoiling. Danger, though, because Allison robes it. Runs inside 50. And it's home, is it? Yes, it is. North's kicked 3 in 8 minutes. Great start from the Roos. They're 3 goals St Kilda yet to score on the Channel 7 scoreboard.
And the sad legacy of this game just 10 minutes into it is that I reckon St Kilda are kicking with a 5-goal breeze. They haven't even had a sniff yet, and of course Lockett is absolutely useless, and yet unless you can get the thing down to him.
Oh, it's certainly not doing that at the moment. KB at Optus Oval, your score.
Still got Melbourne by 6 points. They've booted 2 goals, 12 points. Hawthorn 1 goal, 6 points. And Jakovic has just booted his first, so the Demons now 3 goals. 18 points, lead by 2 goals.
It was knocked out by McKernan. But here comes Keogh of St Kilda, kicked it in forward. Looking down there for Bardsley, who was outmarked by Laidley at centre-half forward for North Melbourne. Plugger came through but couldn't get a finger to it. Here comes a short and it went to Stevens. Hand passed it back to Laidley. Laidley off the back line gets a skew-if kick advantage played downstream. And it may be brought back. No, he can't take it there, King. But it's going to be brought back to Laidley at centre-half back at the Wellington Street end. As Sam said, a gale blowing down there at the moment. The southwesterly coming through. He kicks it down towards centre wing member's side. Danny Frawley up, punched away by Carey. It came in, Peckett got it going, and so too Anderson. Kicked it in towards Lowe. Lowe took a mark and hand passed it off to Damon Shaw. Here comes O'Brien. And O'Brien, who's done such a sterling job, the boy from Peninsula, Sorrento I think he comes from, or Rosebud, has taken a mark within kicking distance, and he's kicked quite a few bags of goals this year in the absence of Lockett, Bondi.
Yes, he's their leading goals kicker, Rex, with 38 goals.
So he's now 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle, and it's going to come back for a goal. So that's the one St Kilda wanted. They wanted to get on the Channel 7 scoreboard, and they did it without Lockett. And this is good for St Kilda, because they go to 1 straight goal, 6 North, 3 straight, 18. That is 11 and a half minutes into the first term. Okay, around the grounds, KB out, your score at Optus Oval.
Melbourne by 12 points, 3 straight goals, 18. Hawthorn 1 goal.
And Peter Dacos, MCG.
Collingwood 1 goal, straight 6 points. Carlton yet to score.
And Gary Bryce at the Western Oval.
Footscray lead by 5 points. They're 1 goal. Geelong are 1 point.
Here's the kid. Light rain is falling here.
No, it's pelting now as Allison races out of the centre. Finds an unmarked Craig Shull up at centre-half forward. A little bit loose, the Saints, as North brought it up. So Shull 60 metres from goal. Kicks up toward the goal square. McAdam got the body in front and took a very good mark with a ball that would be progressively becoming wetter. And back into footy today is Adrian McAdam with Wayne Carey, his captain. And between them, of course, and Johnny Longmire, they've kicked a lot of goals for the Roos. They're missing that other player, Mark Roberts, and they'll be missing him for the rest of the year. North 3 goals, St Kilda 1 goal. Only been going 12 minutes. Channel 7 scoreboard. McAdam right in front and puts it through for North Melbourne. So they're 4 straight now to the Saints, 1 straight. And that's on the Channel 7 scoreboard.
Well, look, this looks really bad for St Kilda. You'd have to say that. Huge win that St Kilda have, and North have completely eclipsed St Kilda. They're putting tremendous faith on their 2 boys, Lowe and Lockett. And it's going to be absolutely paramount that the half-backs and the full-back line for St Kilda can get the thing down there enough times to give them an opportunity to be competitive.
It is absolutely bucketing down out here. It's not pelting, it's now belting. And the umpire, Pfeiffer, puts it into the rubber knob, and Burke went up. Nathan Burke knocked it down towards 50 metres. Laidley came in and kicked a gigantic giraffe kick and actually marked his own ball. Play on to the umpire. Picked up by Bardsley. Hand pass to Stuart Lowe, who dropped it. King came through and over the top, Damon Shaw. But King got a hand pass out of the mire. He looked further afield for Rock. Rock got it back towards Fairley. Fairley on the left boot for North Melbourne, and nearly marked by Jose Ramiro. But it came out further afield. Nearly a mark there to Pickett, but kicked off the ground over there by Mann. It went towards the centre wing outer side of the ground. Pushed in the back is Carey. And Carey will take the resultant free kick.
Wayne Carey, busy early, Bondi, on the Ford Care stat sheet.
Yeah, it's his 5th kick for the match in only 13 minutes.
So he kicks a high kick, and it's gone a long way into the breeze. Maybe the breeze is a bit fluky out there, because that carried about 50 metres. And David Grant for St Kilda, playing on McAdam, had a goal kicked on him early. And Grant takes the mark. He looks for young Lappin, who won't have the size to beat Craig Shull. That was a mismatch. Scholl took the mark, delivered a poor hand pass at the front of the square to Schwass, who chipped short. Absolutely no one near Peter Mann. So from 50, he just turns around and kicks it long, and Longmire almost marked. Between goal and behind post, in the end, Shanahan and Grant able to rush it through for a point. 4-1-25 to a goal. North Melbourne by 19 points on the Channel 7 scoreboard.
Now, we don't want to disenchant the Saints fans early, but this is turning into what looks like a training run for North Melbourne, even at this early stage. 15 minutes into the first quarter.
Shanahan has kicked a magnificent kick. He's picked out Allison and kicked it straight to Allison of North Melbourne. If you didn't know better, that's what you would say. Because Allison was standing there picking his nose, and all of a sudden, to stop his finger being broken, he had to take it out of his nostril and take the mark. And that's just what he did, Sam. And he's put it through for a goal. This is a joke. This is disgraceful stuff. And North Melbourne to 5-1-31. St Kilda 1 straight goal 6. 15 minutes into the first term, the Channel 7 scoreboard. Around the grounds we go with KB at the Optus Oval.
Melbourne by 12 points, 3 goals, 18 points. Hawthorn 1 goal, 6 points.
Peter Dacos at the MCG.
Collingwood 1 goal straight, 6 points. Carlton through Kernahan have just kicked their first goal, 1-1-7.
And how many at your game?
70,000.
Harry Bryce at the Western Oval.
Footscray lead by 5 points. They're 1-1-7. Geelong at 2 points.
Robert Harvey wins it out of the centre for St Kilda. Looking down for Lowe. He couldn't take the mark. Ball thumped to the ground. Schwass got the lucky bounce. Good play, though. Hand pass wide, and away go the Roos now with a long kick here. Up towards centre half forward. Oh, Carey. Did he bump that player Frawley unfairly? Umpire says no. Carey's got the mark. Outside 50. Looks for Longmire. Shanahan spoils. In go the Saints defenders. Mann tries to barge through. Shanahan fumbles. Rock goes in. He can't take it. In the end, Lappin on the edge of the goal square. Finds his captain, Danny Frawley. And Frawley's going to bring it wide here. Toward Members' wing. Keogh was the target. The spoiler Archer. Well done. Carey at ground level. Gives it to Craig Scholl. Up toward Allison again. And he's got the mark.
And Shane, just for the benefit of those listening to 3AW at the ground, who is number 60?
Darren Burke's back on the ground after having his face fixed up. His jumper was covered in blood when he left, Sam.
Thank you very much, Graham. Thank you.
Well done, Bondi. So Burke out of 21 and into 60. That's Burke Darren. Burke Nathan still wearing number 3. So Stan Elves has got some worries here. His Saints have been bombarded early by the Carey-led Roos, who've kicked a point this time. So 5-2-32. Allison pretty busy early. St Kilda 1 goal. Stats for Brett Allison on behalf of Ford Care, Bondi.
Yeah, Brett Allison, 4 kicks, 2 marks, 2 handball and 2 goals, 1.
So it's David Grant in the goal square at the small scoreboard end. St Kilda under fire. They're down but not out. But they've just been given a hell of a lesson in this first term as Grant now puts the boot onto his ball. Or the other way around, I'm sorry. And the football goes out, very painful. The ball onto his boot, and the football's touched by Schwass, and it went over the boundary line and right into the Qantas sign. Qantas magnificent supporters of 3RW and Rex Hunt Fishing Australia as the boundary umpire's got it and heaves the football back in with a magnificent motion. It was knocked out over there, but it came down towards Mann again, but it went out to Allison. Allison hand pass back further afield to Schwass. Schwass has got a lead from Longmire, who just left Shanahan with his gloves just stuck to his elbows. And the umpire said, yes, Longmire, you can have a shot. Now this just could just put another, it's a goal. It's a goal to North Melbourne. What else would it be? And North Melbourne have gone on to 6 goals to 38. To St Kilda, 1 straight goal, 6. And I've never ever said it in the first quarter, but just about.
Oh, no.
Just about yibbity-yibbit at time.
Worse.
Oh, no.
It's disgraceful.
Well, look, they are completely just in another class, these two sides. And I'm not going to say it again. I probably will say it once more. But no good having the best player in the world down in the square if you can't get the thing to him. And that was fantastic play by Allison. Then he, rugby-like, passed that back towards Schwass, who just picked out Longmire, who was unchecked.
Well, Bailey, Doug Bailey now has a run in the ruck. Gets the tap down. They've got to start winning the football, St Kilda. They've hardly had it. What are St Kilda's total stats, Bondi? It wouldn't be a real hard one because I don't feel like we've called St Kilda players at all in the first 19 minutes of this game.
They've had 18 kicks and 4 marks and 12 handball.
Wayne Carey's not far behind the whole 18 of them. Nathan Burke for St Kilda wins it out of the centre, drives down looking for Stewie Lowe. He's about 75 metres from goal. He tries to tap it back to Burke, who followed up, slipped over. He was about to kick the ball, which was bad luck. In the end, North Melbourne so much more positive, take it through rock. But in the meantime, Dean Anderson has been infringed against, and he's going to take a free kick. He's on half forward flank. He's on Member's side. Very crowded forward line. Lockett below. Oh, he's tried to play on. This is really appalling stuff. Oh, dear me, Rock made him look silly there. And young King, Port Melbourne player, drives down the wing looking for McKernan. Can't take the mark. In the end, tries to follow up. The rain's gone now, but a blue sky as Bailey comes in to put some pressure on Ramiro. And it's wobbled over on North Melbourne's half-forward flank for a throw-in.
And in the interest of accuracy, Shane, I said Allison got that ball to...
Schwass, it was Stevens.
Thank you very much. He passed it back rugby-like, Shane.
Thank you, Sammy. So Channel 7 scoreboard, 6-2-38 North Melbourne. The Saints just one goal. That was from Craig O'Brien, and about their only serious foray forward in 20 minutes. So from the throw-in, well played Bailey, giving them a little bit of bite since he came on. Kicks a wobbler around this Members wing, right in front of our broadcast point. Dean Anderson attacks it with Doug Bailey. Dean Anderson coming off the ground now. And there's a new player on for the Saints. It's Clint Shaw. So that's another Shaw. Damon, of course, already playing at the throw-in. Good play, Wakeland. Got it down there to Ward. That's Darren Burke wearing number 60. He got it on to Keogh, who looks for Lockett, who came from behind Mick Martin, spoiled him, and went to Shaw now for St Kilda. Good pass. Shaw got it from Lowy, Bondi. Stuart Lowe's hand pass to Damon Shaw, a good one. And in the end, Shaw fortuitously has found Craig O'Brien 35 metres out right in front.
And good play by Lockett. He was behind, didn't try and mark. He pushed the ball away, and that resulted in this kick for goal.
So O'Brien tries to measure the breeze as he did last time. This time he has just put it a little bit too far across to the right. So the Saints 1-1-7. North is 6-2-38. It's 21 minutes first quarter on the Channel 7 scoreboard.
Now the sun's out here now. No wonder we all love Melbourne. So the football now is in the hands of Ross Smith. And he's down there at the Wellington Road end of the stadium. He skips and hops and bangs this football outside 50 with a long rocket. His target is over there. McKernan can't get it. Harvey for St Kilda is in there. So too, I don't know where that bloke is, number 14, Bardsley, and he tried to get it out. But little umpire Hayden Kennedy has got it just on the right half forward flank for St Kilda going to the main scoreboard end. He puts it down. The big thumb came from behind for Pekin. It went over the top towards Swass. Swass runs away from Lappin. He hand passed it out towards Stevens. Stevens of North Melbourne down to the centre wing. Look at Carey pushing, shoving against Frawley. Frawley will give him one to go on with as he goes over, and the football goes over the boundary line adjacent to the Qantas. The Australian Airlines sign right across the other side of Waverley Park. KB, your score at Optus Oval.
Melbourne lead by 17 points, 4 straight goals, 24 points. Melbourne 1-1-7.
The ball comes spinning back into play. Knocked out by McKernan. Went out towards Pekin. Got a hand pass going over the top. The umpire has a look at Lappin, who was in there trying to get things going. And he said yes. But you look at that little boy Lappin. I saw him at Stan Hobbs' daughter's 21st birthday. I reckon he's left in by the Little League. He's just a kid, doesn't shave. Neither do I. The football knocked out by McKernan. It came down to Darren Burke, brought it across his body. Scholl up against Lappin. Lappin's hand pass went over the top further afield. But coming in is Scholl. He kicked it down further afield, looking for Jose Ramiro, who got it. Pekin in there, giving close control. And the football just ambles over. Once again, adjacent to that Qantas sign over there. Qantas, the Australian Airlines, as dates. We go to you for a score at the MCG.
Collingwood 2-4-16, Kernahan 2 goals. Collingwood 2 straight 12.
Thanks, Dakes, for Harry's Liquor Markets. Here's the throw-in, 50 metres from North Melbourne's goal. Robert Harvey tries to force his way through the traffic. Gets it across to Doug Bailey, who kicks wide for St Kilda. Out toward that far wing. Well played Craig Scholl, winning the ball, but his hand pass was errant. Went straight to young Matthew Lappin, who kicks along the far side of the ground. He'll be looking for Lowe. Fairley's got the job on him. Lowe wins that battle. Hand passes across to Wakeland, who kicks down 4 to 50. Out comes Martin, backs himself against Lockett, who got there second. Good backing up Robert Harvey. Tries to hand pass across to Big Plugger. Loses the footy. Martin emerges with it. He's got serious pressure on him here. Keogh, Robert Harvey and Lockett go after him hard. Plugger's got it now. He threw the ball away. North supporters wanted a free kick. Got it across to Lowe. It's close to the boundary, 50 metres from St Kilda's goal. Low hand passes along the boundary, looking for Keogh. A window cleaner here now. Sam Newman out the front there cleaning the windows. I can't believe it. And we've got a throw in. Just a little bit more to the right there, sir, please. Thank you very much. That's right. That's unbelievable. Sam Newman, window cleaner. He's out the front. I'm trying to look over the top of him now to tell you what's going on. It's 50 metres from St Kilda's goal. In goes Nathan Burke. Flies a little hand pass backwards to Darren Burke, who kicks for the goal square. Ross Smith's back there in front of Craig O'Brien. Great job, Sammy. And Ross Smith has taken the mark for North Melbourne, and will clear out here looking for Allison along half-back flank member's side.
But it's knocked over the boundary line and out of bounds. Left half forward flank member's side. Gary Bryce at Western Oval. Your score, Footscray and Geelong.
Footscray lead by 10 points, 3-1-19 to Geelong 1-3-9.
And the ball with the umpire and comes spinning back into play. The big fellow, big low behind, gets a knockdown, went to Damon Shaw. His high giraffe kick went towards Nathan Burke. Here comes Plugger and Martin. Burke takes it over. And it's left forward pocket for St Kilda, who only have 1-1-7 at North Melbourne, 6-2-38 on the 3W Channel 7 scoreboard. And the ball now comes on its way back into the stadium. All low was pushed out. Plants of the umpire came down to Robert Harvey. Turned on a sixpence, went past. Nearly a good one, but he lined it up and went long for a goal of the day. That's a Mobiltronics goal of the day, and the crowd rise and applaud a champion. He is a champion. He grabbed it, lined it up and threw it. Went for a goal to St Kilda on the Channel 7 scoreboard. This must lift St Kilda, or I'm going fishing.
Certainly that's what St Kilda need, is some individual stars to exert their influence on the game. That was fantastic players called by Rex then. He broke a couple of tackles, sized the goals up, kicked beautifully, and if ever St Kilda needs some inspiration by a couple of their prime movers, that should be the start.
Sam Newman, special comments here at Waverley. Crowd of around about the 20,000. Watching the return of Lockett and Carey as Harvey charges out of the centre. Looks for Stewie Lowe, just couldn't take the mark. Well defended fairly. Archer tidies up, hand passes sideways to Laidley. He kicks wide, he's got Schwass and Rock out there. Schwass wins it, hand passes backwards to Rock. He'll kick now, Bondi, on the right foot along that outer wing. He'll be looking for his captain, Frawley, playing him in front. Well done, Danny Frawley, got the body in front. Carey was niggling at the back, as he did earlier when I called once that he was having a shot for goal after what I thought might have been a free kick, and it's a free to Frawley. Comes across the ground to Darren Burke. True centre half back now for St Kilda. He should use the breeze and traverse the square. Where are you, Saints? Good mark. Robert Harvey again. Lifting them on his own as Harvey. Lockett leads. Go on, Plugger. Take a grab. He's nearly there. Yes, he's got it. No, he spilled it, did he? He spilled it at the last moment, but still gets the hand pass to Bardsley. Bardsley shoots, and it's out of bounds on the full. What a disappointment, Sammy, that Lockett couldn't hold that terrific pass from Harvey.
But I'll tell you what, Shane, he dropped it, but in the middle of three North players, he got up and just like a Hercules, got the ball out and gave at least St Kilda a chance. I know that's shocking, Rex. That was the worst window cleaning job I've ever done, that.
Well, you're trying, Sam.
Cleaned the wrong side.
The secret of being married is doing dishes and washing windows. Have a look at this, mate. That's why I've been married for 24 years.
I wish we had TV cameras here. This is sensational because now we've got Rex Hunt.
Now we've got Elwyn. Elwyn, she's down to...
Are you going to clean them,
down to 90 cigarettes a day. Get away with that cigarette.
No, she's going to clean the window for you. Give her a break.
Fantastic.
Elwyn. That's terrific. We can't see a thing here because it's been raining or pelting or perhaps even belting, as Rex described earlier. And now the Saints have got a free on the centre wing, and they're going to send the ball into attack there. 2-1-13. North 6-2-38 at 27 minutes first quarter.
So Damon Shaw wearing the number 5, and it's going to be a free kick given to Stuart Lowe, is it? No, what's going... Lowe has given away the free kick. He was holding on. Where's the football? I can't see the bloody football.
It's got to come back to where Damon Shaw had the ball, so in effect St Kilda have lost possession and 50 metres.
I couldn't see the footy. Those mosquitoes bit me all week. They've taken my eyesight away. The football now into the centre of the ground. Up goes Frawley. Look, he'll give his guts out, this bloke. There's Lappin. He's a kid. Have a look at him. Allison gets a hand pass across to Smith for North Melbourne. Went inside 50. Here comes Longmire. Shanahan's going to clean up from behind with the crumbs. He went left. Now he comes across there towards over the top Bardsley. And Bardsley marks in front of Rock. They've got to build this one now. They've got to go on to Peckett. Peckett has marked it over the top. Hand pass on to Bailey. Bailey for St Kilda now on the left boot. A beautiful looking kick to left half forward. Down towards O'Brien, punched it away. Lappin, guts and determination from the little boy. It came out to Nathan Burke. Nathan Burke kicked it inside. Pluggers from behind. He punches off Nick Martin. It came out to Lowe. Tapped it on beautifully towards O'Brien, who's left behind by the pace of King. King shrugged the tackle. He hand passed it out. It went out further afield to Peckett, who hand passed kicked a low trajectory kick down towards Lockett. Lockett punched it down again. Coming through Damon Shaw. Hand pass Stewie Lowe. Stewie Lowe hand past O'Brien. O'Brien hand past Harvey. Harvey at 40 metres. He's pulled up the football. It went down further afield. This is Shaw, Clinton Shaw. But they're going to bring it out. North Melbourne knows Harvey. The siren's going to beat him. But at least they had a go. At least they had a go. And that's all you can ask these kids today, who are going to have a real red-hot go. They're looking down the tube. But, gee, that was good stuff, Sam. I tell you what, I just pulled a hamstring calling it.
No, it was fantastic stuff, and interesting to note that Lockett 4 times has punched the ball from behind, so perhaps a tactical error by Tony, or perhaps very good play by Mick Martin to get in front with the wind. You'd think that the ball actually plugger.
Return to work coordinators. It's my job to help injured workers back to work, and I find work that's good for us and won't hurt their injury. The doctor's usually a big help if I ask her advice, because she wants them to get better too.
It's working, work covers working.
And now, Loretta's getting better.
Hello there. 8 years ago, Scotland's finest malts were distilled to make the Bell's Scotch whisky I'm drinking now. About the same time, a yearling named Superimpose was bought for a song. Over the years, both kept on improving, with Superimpose eventually winning the $1 million Cox Plate as an 8-year-old. And the 8-year-old bells?
Vince Basile sarà in compagnia. Altro football, quello australiano.
I think you're back on 3AK. God almighty. Now, I'm broadcasting here at Waverley Park, and I tell you what, listen, I'll go around the ground, Shane. You just give me get that paper with the message away. Oh, listen. So here we are. It's another behind to North Melbourne. 6-3-39 to St Kilda, 2-1-19. 2-1-13. The football deep into attack for North Melbourne again. And the ball is going to be conceded again by Allison's behind. And they're peppering away the goals at North Melbourne. 6 goals 40. And St Kilda at 2-1-13. This is 1 minute and a quarter seconds into the second term.
Now, we should say that, no, you did say that Stan Ells took the mob over to the outer side of the ground, and fantastic bit of lateral thinking by Stan, at least trying to crank the side up per the medium of the St Kilda throng here.
So Peckett kicks it out towards the left half back flank, gets it across to Harvey. He hand passes it inboard to Darren Burke, now wearing number 60. But Crocker it is, I think it is. Don't know his number, but I think it's Crocker who hand passed it across to Mann. Mann on the left boot goes to Carey, and look at that. He took one on the scone from Frawley and then took the mark, turned it around and kicked it down towards Longmire, who did not have an opponent within 10 metres of him, and that's pretty slack by St Kilda defence here.
You called it beautifully. He took a whack across the head just from Frawley as he's about to take the mark. Still had eyes for the ball, and this is what makes Carey so good when he sticks to playing footy.
So Longmire has kicked another goal here at Waverley Park. St Kilda at 2-1-13. North Melbourne at 6-4-40. 2.5 minutes, and let's go out to Kevin Bartlett at the non-covered game at Optus Oval.
Melbourne by 18 points, 5-1-31. Hawthorn 2-1-13.
Thank you for that. And here's Graham Bond to get a few stats before we get to Shane Healy.
Yeah, Wayne Carey, 7 kicks and 3 marks. Allison's had 6 kicks and kicked 2 goals, 3. And Laidley 6 kicks, while for St Kilda, Darren Burke 5 kicks and Robert Harvey 5 kicks, 4 handball.
Great stuff, Bondi, on behalf of Ford Care. Great game here at Waverley. There's the bounce in the centre. And up goes Big McKernan. He couldn't get a clear tap away. Oh, good play. Bailey doing great work, ruck roving. Drives up toward half forward. Anderson playing in front of Laidley. That's more like it. In comes Damon Shaw. Kicks it beyond 50. Rodney Keogh throws the body in. 40 metres out from St Kilda's goal. Umpire letting it go. May go for a ball up. Now he does. We've got a ball up here about 3 minutes into the second quarter.
Peter Dacos, your score at the MCG.
Minute mark here. Carlton 4-6-30, lead Collingwood 3-1-19. Greg Williams was down for the count.
Richard, if you want to go to the MCG, just press the button a bit sooner, because we've got to pick it all up, thanks very much, as Laidley has got the football. I think I better settle down a bit here and I'll call like 3-0 or tragic or something like that.
No, you're doing it beautifully, Rick.
The football goes into centre half forward to Longmire, can't get it. Bailey did, was taken by this boy Peckett. Pickett for St Kilda, hand passes to Harvey. He got it across to Clinton Shaw. He got it back over there towards Frawley, who kicked a worm burner out towards the wing position, and it went over the boundary line and out of bounds. The galloping Gourmet at Western Oval, Footscray and Geelong.
Quarter time, a 10-point lead to Footscray, 5-1-31, who were kicking into the breeze, and Geelong 3-3-21.
Thank you very much. Ball spinning back into play.
And a big leap here from Bailey again. Taps it down, but his opposition, number 34, David King, gives it to Anthony Stevens, 70 from goal. McAdam's going to have the last leap at this. Just couldn't hold the mark. 20 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. David Grant emerges with a footy. They're playing like they were playing in a grand final here. St Kilda, real enthusiasm and grit. They need work on the scoreboard, though. They're down by over 5 goals. They found Frawley. Half-back flank on Members' side in the sunshine, bringing it up the Members' wing now. Ball holds up on the breeze. Robert Harvey, building up the stat sheet now, has taken another mark for St Kilda.
Yep, Robert Harvey playing great football, trying to inspire them single-handedly and desperately trying to get it down to Plugger.
Pickett got it to Pekin, playing 200 games to the right half forward, looking down there for Wakelin with the gloves on. He can't get it, but fairly did, and hand passed it over the boundary line and out of bounds. At Optus Oval, KB at the non-broadcast game, Melbourne and Hawthorn.
And the Demons lead by 19 points, 5-2-32. Hawthorn at 2-1-13.
The ball spinning back into play, low is there. So too over the top, Bailey grabbed it and hand passed it out towards Harvey. Guts and determination there, good shepherding by Pekin. Saw Harvey weave his magic through 2 players and then put it on its way with a finger breaker to centre half forward. Right across the top there, beautiful mark to Archer in the sunshine out here at Waverley Park. He's got Scholl on his own over on the right wing position out in front of Wakelin. Scholl runs his complement and kicks it down to the right half forward, looking down there for Longmire. Up to Shanahan, but Longmire took it. Longmire put it on its way. It's close, but no cigar as it went to the left of the post. And North Melbourne peppering. Well, it's peppering away at North Melbourne, 7-5-47. St Kilda 2-1-13. The Bell Scotch Whisky scoreboard. Take it away, kid.
Good on you, Rexy.
It's a bit hot under the collar here, but I'll be all right, son. Just give me a bucket of water.
We're teammates, Rexy. We get hot under the collar together here, son. In the goal square, up there at the main scoreboard. Horrible kick out. I think it's going to be out in the fall. Oh, shocking stuff, David Grant. That was poor. Clint Shaw tried to touch it inside the line, but it floated over. On 50, McAdam's got the free, puts it in short. Oh, nearly a good mark to Rock, just couldn't control it. And young Dean Anderson emerges with the footy, gets the hand pass working. Should be a St Kilda free kick here, surely. And it's going to be Timmy Pekin playing game number 200. The boy from down Colac way. I was down there at 3CS the other night. Good afternoon to all our Colac listeners as they get it moving now, the Saints. Frawley bumped after he kicks up toward half forward. Fairley's there first, ahead of Craig O'Brien. Fumbles, but good play. Taps across to Dean Laidley. And Laidley now emerges from fullback and goes wide to Craig Scholl, who's picking up his stats. He's got the mark of defensive 50 on the outer side of the ground. Decides to play on around Matthew Lappin and kicks long, big long kick to Carey. Couldn't take the mark. Now, advantage probably should have been played there because as it hit the ground, the umpire blew the whistle and said it's yours, Carey, and McKernan was on his way to goal. That's why the booing was happening out there, but Carey's got it out there on the far wing position. Kicks on the right foot looking for Longmire, who's been a little bit too good for Shanahan so far. He can't take the mark, and Shanahan shovels it over the boundary line for a throw-in. It's 7 minutes, second quarter. The Roos are 47 and the Saints are 13 on the Bell Scotch Whisky scoreboard.
I know what you're saying about Carey being given advantage, but I mean, he was pretty lucky. He dropped the mark and he's pretty lucky to get the kick in the first place. I didn't think the umpire wanted to compound the issue.
North Melbourne look a class side against the lamenting St Kilda. Kicked off the ground by Swass. It worm burning into Longmire. He hand passed it back towards Allison and went behind the stick. Or is that Stevens? Stevens, is it? Thank you for that. North Melbourne 7-6-48. Leaving St Kilda behind at the station, who were at 2-1-13. And for Harry Slickermark, it's
he's done it again. He's done it again.
He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. That's David Grant. They've got to get someone else as Allison comes in and kicks it to Rock.
Now look.
And Rock's going to line it up. This is embarrassing.
It's Grant twice and Shanahan once.
Okay, well, the kicking out has been disgraceful no matter which way you look at it. When you are 2-1, you can ill afford to give a side that's had 13 scoring shots, free shots at goal.
Well, he's got a free one, this one. This is the Rock boy, Anthony Rock, the main scoreboard in. And he's kicked the football behind. So that's a good miss for St Kilda, a bad one for North Melbourne. And North 7-7-49 to St Kilda 2-1-13. 8.5 minutes. And let's go to KB at Optus Oval.
The Demons lead by 12 points, 5-2-32. Hawthorn 3-2-20. And there's a scuffle in the goal square here because Gary Lyon's been hit, and he's got a free kick, and he's kicking from only 5 metres out.
So the football's been relayed down to Shanahan.
He's lost it.
And he has too, big fellow. And Shanahan has got the resultant free kick and picks out Crocker beautifully. That was a lovely kick by Shanahan. It was a 60-metre pass that went straight down the hands of Crocker. But Crocker had a blue and white Guernsey on. He kicks it across and it's marked by Carey. He's put it down twice as if he's picking mushrooms out there. He kicks it inside 50, and here comes McAdam and Longmire. Over the top, knocked on by Ellison to McAdam, and McAdam has kicked a goal! This is disappointing for St Kilda fans, not because they're getting beaten, but because of the ease that North Melbourne are getting goals on the Bell Scotch Whisky scoreboard. So North Melbourne are 8-7-55. It's all over here. To St Kilda 2-1-13, and we'll go around the grounds to Kevin Bartlett at Optus Oval.
Well, they took that ball off Gary Lyon, and so there was a certain goal missed by the Demons, but they still lead by 12 points, 5-2-32. Hawthorn are 3-2-20.
Peter Dacos at the MCG.
Just started the second quarter. Carlton 4-7-31 lead Collingwood 3-1-19.
Good on you, Dakes. Thanks indeed. Barrel shortly at the Western Oval. Now out of the centre. St Kilda win it. Well done. Darren Burke will kick it long. Long looking for Lockett. Yes! Pay it, umpire. 2-3 bites. He brought it down. Not paid. Maybe I love Lockett too much. Who knows? But I thought he earned that. And off the ball, he's given away. That's O'Brien has given away a free kick.
I think it might have been Tony gave away the free kick, Shane.
I thought it might have been O'Brien. You thought it was Lockett, did you, Bondi?
No, you were right. O'Brien gave the bit of a to-do down here, but Lockett gave the kick away.
So it's a free kick to North, and it's Crocker. Between fullback and centre halfback. Goes wide looking for McKernan. Jumped into his own man there. There was some holding off the footy. Free kick to Robert Harvey, who's having a terrific game.
Now, Shane, don't incite the fans. You've got to hang on to the ball, because that's what infuriates people paying marks that aren't there.
Fair enough. I thought he controlled it as much as Adler did in that spectacular one at the MCG. Anyway, here's St Kilda. Darren Burke on 50. Kicks to an open goal square. No one home for the Saints. David King's first there for North. And it rolls over for a throw. And I thought he had 1, 2, 3 goes at it.
You're very welcome to incite the fans, but I would not consider that to be a mark in no circumstances.
No, probably right. Maybe I was getting a little carried away. I want to see Plugger kick a few. I think everyone does. At the throw-in, forward pocket, Low takes it out of the air, and I think he's kicked a Mobiltronics goal of the day. Good on you, Stewie. That was good stuff. And I was about to ask you, Sam, whether maybe Stan should think of moving Low away from centre half forward, because he's given them absolutely no drive at all, yet suddenly bounces into the game and kicks a great goal.
His first kick of the game, Shane.
Oh, yeah, but be fair. I mean, until he kicked that goal with 3 scoring shots, which means the thing hasn't been down there too often. It's been coming down in such a haphazard manner, and of course the rain didn't help the big man's control of the ball. Just give him till half-time to see if he can salvage something out of 50 minutes of football.
So on the Bell Scotch Whisky scoreboard, North Melbourne are 8-7-55 and St Kilda 3-1-19. Here comes Harvey, dispossessed. It went out further towards Swass. He tries to pick it up. He's over the top of the football, and he's held without the football. And he's got the free kick and hand pass it off the man. Isle of Man of North Melbourne kicks it down to centre half forward. Look at Carey. He's a good player. He came up and took another mark, this time in front of Shanahan. And here comes Longmire. Longmire's over the top of Frawley, but it came out to David Grant. He hand passed to Pekin, but Grant was interfered with and will take the kick. So Grant on the left half-back flank, hand passes to Harvey. Harvey hand pass to Pekin. Pekin's hand pass found Harvey again. His skew-whiff kick was now going to pay a push against McAdam. It'll have to come back to Harvey. KB, your score out there at Optus Oval. Thank you very much for that. Fantastic. And we'll come back to you, Sam Newman.
I suppose you're picked up by the fact you called that Frawley now has gone on to Longmire and Shanahan down to Carey at centre half back.
Thank you very much as Harvey came out towards Lappin. And we'll just try again now as we go to KB at Optus Oval. The line has been restored.
Jakovic has booted 3 goals and Melbourne lead by 18 points, 6-2-38. Hawthorn 3-2-20.
I wish you could see Sam in the box here, KB, because he doesn't reckon the Demons can win this, and he's getting very aggravated.
I tipped this.
So Lappin kicked it down towards the wing position. Here comes Nathan Burke trying to get it through. Bailey for St Kilda got a quick one across, and here they come now, St Kilda. That was Jack Frost, went down to right half forward. It came out towards Burke. Darren Burke has missed it, but he's a left footer, and he was on his right foot preferred, but his preferred foot is his left, not his right, but he had to kick the right because his left wasn't right, and the football went behind. Well,
what about the tap across from Plugger, eh?
Beautiful.
Like a big paw from a big brown bear. He just pushed it across.
Melbourne are 8-7-55 and St Kilda 3-2-20.
And Blakey brings it out of defence, looks for his captain Carey in the centre. Ball thumped away. Here's a good battle. Schwass, Shaw, good bump. Schwass off Damon Shaw, and that allowed Crocker to win the footy. He runs off the wing almost to centre half forward, puts it out in front of Longmire. He'll grab it just outside 50, turn onto the right foot. He's backing himself for pace to beat Frawley. Professional trip. He was on his way to goal, almost like a soccer game. He'd beaten Frawley at Longmire. Danny reached out the arm, got Longmire by the foot. And there might be a report for that. Rex is saying off mic he might get reported, and that's quite possible. Professional free kick is all it was, not a reportable incident for mine. And Longmire's got a free kick just outside 50. What did you think, Sam?
I didn't think it was a deliberate trip, but it was opportune nevertheless.
And he's run over the mark, and we've got 50 metres.
Oh, dear me.
That's shocking, Danny. And so Longmire missed it. He was stretching to kick a goal from 55. Now he'll do it on the bit because he'll be having a shot from the goal square, and that is very disappointing.
I mean, look seriously, Shane. The book is there to be umpired by. He must have gone over a millimetre. And now a goal takes the heart out of everything. Do people want to see goals scored like this? The rules are the rules, though.
Longmire's kicked 3 goals, and North go to 9-7-61, and St Kilda are 3-2-20. That's 41 points the difference here. We're only halfway through the second quarter. For Harry's Liquor Markets, let's go to Gary Bryce at the Western Oval.
Well, 2 quick goals to Geelong sees them getting a bit closer. They were 29 points behind. Now they trail by... now the scoreboard's changing. 8-2-50, Footscray 5-3-33. That's 17 points.
So Lockett hasn't touched the ball, I don't think, in relation to the stats, has he, Bondi?
Yes, Rex. 2 hand passes in that first quarter.
Okay.
And a tap on in this quarter.
Sorry about that. KB, your score at the Optus Oval.
Well, Gary Lyons just kicked a fantastic goal. The Demons lead by 25 points, 7-3-45. Hawthorn 3-2-20, no goals to Dunstall.
Peter Dacos at the MCG.
Carlton's half back line trying to taking control here. Carlton 6-7-43, Collingwood 3-2-20.
Thank you very much for that. And the ball knocked out of the centre. Here come North Melbourne again, but Lappin was pulled out of the pack. He didn't have the football, and this young boy, good cut of a boy he is too from the country. He's up round Skipton way, I think, as he kicks it off the left half-back flank down towards Stuart Lowe. Where's that?
Chilton, I think.
Chilton, he's exactly right. As I said, it was Chilton. The football kicked down by Bailey, but it went down towards Laidley on the half-back line for North Melbourne. He's going to centre the ball after a beautiful lead from Schwass. Punched away by Pegan, the 200-game veteran today for the Saints. Off the top of the pack, and it came out towards Archer. Spun out of trouble and hand passed it to Crocker. Crocker of North Melbourne has got Man. Man marks on the centre wing in front of Stuart Lowe. Spins on a sixpence on his left boot. Goes down with a long kick looking for Carey. Carey can't get there. Shanahan and a couple of others try and pick it up. It's Jack Frost. Jack Frost of St Kilda spins on a sixpence. He kicks a low trajectory kick out looking for Keogh. Scholl is there. And the football's over the boundary line and out of play. Okay, here's Sam Newman and then the kid.
Well, you don't get the feeling that St Kilda are making too much of an impression, certainly not on the scoreboard, certainly on the ground here. North Melbourne look to be far too talented. They play a better style of football, and St Kilda always on the rebound.
So at the throw-in, who's going to win this important ball? It's 70 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. David King got it through a good tackle. Across to Scholl, who kicked down. Oh, Carey.
That's a beautiful
That is a classic mark. That is just a delightful mark.
That's an Ablett mark. That's just getting the man, getting your body between the man and the ball, and then just juggling it with the one arm, and he actually did bring it into his body that time, Shane.
Yeah, no doubt we'd pay that. That'll be on the TV highlights tonight and tomorrow. It was a glorious grab, one-on-one against Shanahan, body for body, 45 metres from goal, and he was able just to exert his influence and his pressure, get Shanahan out of the way. And now the North supporters go up. Carey, this magnificent champion, 50 metres out, directly in front. And it deserves a goal, but I think he might have just missed it. So on the Bell Scotch Whisky scoreboard, we've travelled 18 minutes of the second quarter at Waverley. It's blue sky now here after we had some pretty heavy rain in the first quarter. So dry weather footy we're playing. Crowd up around the 20,000 mark to see the return of Carey and Lockett today. North 9.862, St Kilda 3.220. And North right on top.
Gee, they're taking some risks. Peckett got the ball to Nathan Burke. Hand pass to Pekin. Pekin kicked it to Lappin. Lappin marked. Hand pass back to Pekin. Pekin hand passed over the top to Frawley. They brought it to centre wing. They go right half forward looking for Anderson, but punched away by Crocker. Beautiful football in the defensive zone of North Melbourne, just outside the 50-metre half forward flank for St Kilda, going to the small scoreboard end. KB, your score at Optus Oval.
Melbourne lead by 24 points, 7-3-45. Hawthorn a 3-3-21. 3 goals to Jakovic, no goals to Dunstall.
The football now back into the play. Knocked out by Stewart Lowe. It went out to Archer. Kicked off the ground there by O'Brien of St Kilda. It went down towards Bardsley Frost. Bardsley, it was the first time, you were right. It came out towards Darren Burke, who kicked it forward, but marked by Laidley in the last line of defence. He's going to spin around and kick it out towards King. King is out there on the right half-back flank, and it goes outside 50, very close to the boundary line as I speak. And it goes over next door to the Bell Scotch Whisky sign. Who are you pointing at now, Shane? You're under more instructions. You're getting instructions from here, instructions from there. You go to him if you like.
It's the throw-in, and it's going to wobble back to the boundary line. Dakes, we'll go to you at the MCG, mate, for Harry's Liquor Markets.
Well, Carlton pulling away here, taking control of the game. Carlton 7-7-49, 29-point lead on over Collingwood, 3-2-20. Alan Richardson has just been carried off on a stretcher.
So more injury woes for the Magpies. Here's the throw-in, and Everett got a tap down. Went across there to Clint Shaw, whose kick really just went straight up and straight down. Harvey tried to take the mark. That's Robert Harvey of St Kilda. Pack develops on St Kilda's half-forward flank up there at the small scoreboard end. Still almost 2 kicks from the Saints' goal. They're 3-2-20 to 9-8-62 North Melbourne. The margin is 42 points here, and the Saints with plenty of work to do to try and arrest back this margin before half-time. As Big McKernan goes up, gets the tap down. In the end, St Kilda win the footy. That's Big Everett who comes through and kicks down looking for Lowe. Thought he might have been held. Crowd agreed with me. Umpire didn't. And away goes Rossi Smith. Takes it at full back and kicks across his body, but straight to Big Everett, whose kick is a shocker. Straight down Laidley's throat. North clears oh so easily to Blakey. He'll run off the back of the square and send North into attack.
Looking down there for Carey.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What a beautiful kick and a beautiful mark. And here comes a lead from Longmire. Longmire comes out in front of Frawley. He didn't get the mark, but he was paid the free kick. Longmire making the play in front. It should have been 50. Very lucky not to be 50, because he did hand pass it over the top of his head. But there it is.
Oh, gee.
Well, it's technically in the back, Sam. He's in front. He was interfered with, and yibbida-yibbida. He's the umpire and you're not. And Longmire just rams through another goal.
Oh.
So North Melbourne at 10-8-68. And St Kilda at 3-2-20. Longmire's kicked a lazy 4. Tony Lockett yet to put the football onto his boot. As St Kilda are lamenting here. 48 points down the slippery tube. As we please some people and go around the grounds. To big Kevin Bartlett at Optus Oval, and he's with little Al Martello.
Well, Melbourne lead by 18 points. There's 7-3-45, and the Hawks are 4-3-27. 25 minutes played in the second term.
Peter Dacos at the MCG.
Carlton 8-7-55. Collingwood 3-2-20. Milhana 3 goals this quarter.
Peter Dacos, Gary Bryce at the Western Oval.
17-minute mark and a 12-point lead to Footscray. 8-3-51. Geelong with Ablett 3 goals, 6-3-39.
So Robert Harvey gets another kick. This time it's a free kick out of the centre to Rodney Keogh, who beats his man, runs to the front of the square. Now Pluggy are in good position. And again, Mickey Martin out, bodies him. Well done. Lockett not able to get the mark. Ross Smith takes it in the goal square. They're doing it too easily out of their own defence, North. He goes wide to an unmarked Craig Scholl, who runs away from Peak, and he's had a couple of opponents today, Scholl. Slipped over in the back pocket, but still got his kick away. Up towards centre half back. Clarkson went up, couldn't take the mark. Frost's down. He's got 4 blue and white Guernseys to beat. In the end, he did well to work it to Frawley. Now to Damon Shaw, and Shaw gets a lead from O'Brien, and O'Brien's got the mark on 50. Lowe just not featuring as O'Brien kicks in the Lockett direction. He's fallen over, Plugger, and Mickey Martin takes the mark on the edge of the goal square. The 2 big number 4s. Martin's taken all the points in the first half. Gets the hand pass going to Fairley. Fairly up towards centre half back. Big man went up, couldn't take the mark. Archer roved it, dribbled one around the boundary and mucked it up. He put it out of bounds on the full. Ablett apparently has got his 800th goal down at Footscray. Get back to the barrel shortly at 68-20. Here, North Melbourne right in front.
That's be a record, showed 800 goals before half-time.
It's not a bad effort, only Ablett could do it. Here comes St Kilda again. Lockett again caught behind Martin. Good little bit of roving here. Burke's got the chance to work it across. In the end, Damon Shaw wobbles one to the goal square. Oh, look, it's gone past all players for a goal. And when I say he wobbled it, Sam described the kick. It was an ugly, ugly kick that went through along the ground.
I don't think at any stage it was in the air. As soon as it came off the boot, it hit the turf and it just bounced and rolled, and it actually spun around absolutely laterally instead of end over end.
A worm-burning worm burner.
It was. It was a junior giraffe reverse. What do you call it? A GN, yes.
A freak.
A freak, that's right.
So
One just threw it away in a gesture of defiance.
North Melbourne at 10:8:68 to St Kilda 4:2:26. 24.5 minutes into the second term. The ball back in the centre. And the big bloke Ishenko got the knockout. Robert Harvey is tackled by Blakey. And Robert had no chance of getting rid of it. And the umpire will bounce.
Unbelievable.
Well, he's given him a free kick for holding the ball. Holding the ball. So the ball now down towards Carey, who marked it. I just get back to holding the ball there. He's holding the ball. And sorry, Bondi.
Correct decision. Harvey had a chance before he was tackled to either kick or hand pass the ball.
Okay.
He chose to try and beat the man and was tackled.
Stand corrected then. Thank you for that, umpire Graham Bond. But Carey's going to kick North Melbourne's 11th goal.
No way.
Yep. Thank you,
He
Graham.
received the ball and got absolutely plunged him.
Carey, how many marks to Carey?
8 marks.
8 marks before half-time, and he comes in and kicks his second goal, and North Melbourne's 11th. This is just amazing here. The difference between the two sides is frightening, is embarrassing. It's just so prominent. It's amazing. North to 11:8:74. St Kilda 4:2:26. 26 minutes nearly have gone, and let's go to KB at Optus Oval.
Melbourne by 25 points, 8-4-52. The Hawks are 4-3-27.
Peter Dacos at the MCG.
Carlton 8-9-57 lead Collingwood by 37 points, 3-2-20.
Gary Bryce, MCG. Western Oval, sorry, mate.
It's the 20-minute mark and scores are identical. Footscray and Geelong, both 8-3-51.
Doug Hawkins on.
Dougie came on at the 17-minute mark, and they've been playing inspired football up until about 10 minutes ago. Footscray, they led by 29 points during this quarter. Geelong have come back through some great play, mainly Bairstow and Ablett 2 goals this quarter. His third brings up his 800th goal.
So North wins it out of the centre, down toward McAdam. Saints players go in hard. It's come across to Ramiro, high tackle on Ramiro. And Ramiro is going to take the free kick here for North Melbourne. He's about, 45, getting on for 50 metres from goal. And he's as good as directly in front as Jose, wearing number 1. I think he used to wear number 36, did Ramiro, for North, before changing numbers. And he's directly in front here.
He's got a brother called Hose B. They're both firemen.
Jose now comes in. It's a shocking kick. It lands just at the edge of the goal square, and Carey almost got it onto his boot to kick a goal, but the Saints are going to win it away. Well played. Keogh back there. Got it across field now toward Little Lappin. Shocking kick around the boundary and bounced through the legs there of Anthony Rock. So it was one of those kicks that went right along the ground, Little Lappin. It's a couple of times now we've seen St Kilda players do that. And in the end, it's wobbled over the boundary line for a throw, and it's forward of the wing here for North Melbourne. They're an attack on members' side up to the main scoreboard end. It's 27 minutes second quarter. Throw back into play now. 11-8 North Melbourne, 4-2 St Kilda. Pack develops after the throw-in. Frost tries to work the body in. Rock's in there as well. Thought Allison was being held without it there. Umpire disagreed. And we're going to have a ball up. Still just forward of the wing, almost up to half-forward flank with North in attack.
This is either umpire Prince or umpire Pfeiffer. I wouldn't have a clue. Well, I don't care anymore. The football has got Nathan Burke's name on it as he kicks it to centre wing. Anderson is there. He's tackled without the football. And umpire Prince or Pfeiffer has given the free kick to Anderson of St Kilda on the right wing position. He's going to line it up and now kick it down to right half forward. Looking further afield for Bailey. Off the top of the pack came out to Harvey. Harvey is tackled high. The umpire says no. The umpire is correct on this occasion, as Gary Bryce gives us a score from the Western Oval, Gary.
Footscray go a goal in front after another one to Collingwood, second this quarter, 9-3-57 Footscray. Geelong are 8-3-51.
Thank you very much. And big Aishenko has given a free kick in the ruck against Stuart Lowe. And big Harry Aishenko hand passes across to Jose Ramiro.
And Ramiro kicks down poorly toward the centre. Frost got in front of Anthony Rock there, took the mark. Michael Frost, ex-Bulldog, now Saint, wearing number 24 on the left foot. Oh, look, he's just picked out Clarkson. That's shocking football from Frost. We're playing dry weather footy here now. Waverley looking lush. It's sunny, bit cool. Crocker on the end of a handball. Tackle. Kick goes to Bailey of St Kilda, who kicks up looking here for little Bardsley, but big Aishenko. 4 foot bigger. Lopes across, takes the mark, finds Laidley, who this time is better. Picks out Ramiro, and he's got a lot of yardage out there on the outer wing. Has a bounce, runs onto the centre line. Carey leads. Carey dives in, just can't take the mark. Well played, good backing up Frost to get it off to Anderson. He'll chip short looking for O'Brien, and St Kilda works it back to the centre line here, trying to kick up into this breeze, and O'Brien's away.
O'Brien now gets a forward football going towards Stuart Lowe. He dropped what he might have taken, and here comes Fairley. Met high by O'Brien. Fairley got a kick. It came out towards Archer. Archer kicked it out towards Allison on the left half forward flank, being followed by Peckett. Allison picks it up and kicks it down to the lead of Scholl, but coming out there is Grant. Grant hand pass to Lappin. Lappin hand passing to Grant. Grant's kick finds number 39, and that is Clinton Shaw of the St Kilda Football Club, and Clinton will just chip it across to Nathan Burke, put him under pressure. Burke put it quickly onto his boot, went to Stewie Lowe, punched away by Laidley. It came out further afield towards Blakey of North Melbourne, picked up by Crocker. He hand passed it back towards Laidley, and going up is Swass, nearly decraniumising a player there. The hand pass came out towards Grant, but it was taken by Jose Ramiro. He kicks it down inside 50. Here comes Rock. Here comes Longmire, but Frawley concedes to behind and punches it through as the siren goes for half-time at Waverley Park. And this is, well, a disappointment for St Kilda fans. They've had 6 scoring shots to 19, make that 20 for St Kilda, for North Melbourne. And at half-time, North Melbourne are 11 goals, 9-75, and St Kilda are 4-2-26. That's on the Bell Scotch Whisky. And Fairley in the magnificent afternoon sunshine punches this ball into the breeze. And fair dinkum, I don't believe what I just saw. Everett went up. Like, Sam, I'll let you describe that because I don't want to hurt the boys' feelings.
No, well, he was on his own there, and he just waltzed straight under the ball, and it hit someone at the back of the pack who wasn't even expecting it.
This is like one flew over the cuckoo's nest here this afternoon. It is unbelievable. And it's hard not to laugh, but the kids are just not good enough. They're having a red-hot go. Lappin has a beautiful hand pass, and it went straight to King of North Melbourne. Went back to Lappin. Now, there's a kid that should be in nappies, playing his guts out. Nathan Burke gets it down to centre-half forward, pushed in the back as Stuart Lowe. Play on, said the umpire. It came out further afield towards, that was Bailey, hand passing to Damon Shaw, but down to Fairley, the fisherman from Williamstown. He's got all the time. He's as slow as a wet week, but he looks pacey out there against St Kilda today. He gets it out towards Scholl on the half-back flank. Went over the boundary line and out of bounds.
See, now you'll say that Lockett was beaten to the ball there. Well, I suppose he was, but good heavens above, it was kicked down to him very haphazardly, and 2 North Melbourne players led him to the ball.
So here come North Melbourne again, and the ball goes down towards Swass, who kicked it inside 50. Played it on in front of himself. Peaking went A over T, and it went out towards Swass again, who hand passed it. Bardsley Frost in a bit of trouble right across there in front of the Qantas sign, and the football goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Here's Shane Healy on 3AW.
X-Rexy and 75-26. Not a happy scoreline for the Saints on this big day for them, where they thought possibly Big Plugger might turn things around, but as Sam said, ball just has not got down there often enough. There's a hard worker, little Matthew Lappin. Drives the ball up toward the centre line, through Burchell. He can't take it. Anderson goes in. He can't pick it up either. In the end, the Saints are able to clear the footy. Good handball. Across to Nathan Burke, now on to Dean Anderson. Well done, Harvey got that moving, Bondi. Anderson's kick goes up toward half forward. Gee whiz, it's just all North Melbourne back there. No one anywhere near it for the Saints. And Laidley able to clear up here toward the centre, and Big Eye Schenko. What was that man? Let's have a look. Third time lucky, it's Corey McKernan in the sunshine. Gets a lead from Longmire. Arrives just a little bit late. On 50, the Roos a chance. Snapshot for goal here by Rock, and is just across the face of goal for a point. So 11-10-76 to 4-2-26. I suppose for a guy like McKernan, Sam, be a little bit easier having a Carey back, take a little bit of pressure off you.
Oh, well, it would just take enormous pressure off you, because Carey not only does some inspirational things and gets his fair share of the ball, but he's also a tremendous confidence builder to the young boy.
Pickett kicks it out, but it was intercepted by Carey. Carey hand passing to King, who's gone via the cape, and he's kicked it into the mush of a policeman eating a pie, and he's okay as the football comes back into the hands of David Grant. Now, if we go on history, David should kick this out on the full. But, oh, he's shocking kick. He didn't do it this time. It came outside 50, punched away by Carey, went to Rock, kicked off the boot it was, but it was smothered, went down to McAdam, and McAdam's given away a free kick, and it's going to go to David Grant. He now goes through and transvestites the square, kicks it across the other side to the right half-back flank, where Nathan Burke has taken the mark in his bicycle helmet. He kicks it outside 50 over there, looking for young Lappin. Lappin marks in front of Carey. Carey now pushes the ball out of his hands and gives away 50 metres. Much to the delight of the St Kilda throng, the people that come to the football every week, they're the people who support the game, and they cheer as their young little leaguer, young Matty Lappin, has got it. And he goes bang with a long kick, which is about a 30-metre kick. Stuart Lowe has been pushed out by Fairley, who's thrown a wobbly, and Big Stewie wipes his big mitts on the ground, and now wipes his mitt on his backside, puts the boot behind the sock, and takes what dew there is off the face of the shoe. And Stewie now will come in and kick from 53 1/3 metres and kick a long point. Bang, one flag. It's St Kilda to 4-3-27 North, 11-10-76. Nearly 5 minutes third term kitty as we go to KB at Optus Oval.
Jakovic has belted out of the blocks after half-time. He's gone bang, 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 so he's got 6 goals, and now we've got Melbourne leading by 37 points. 11-5-71, Hawthorn 5-4-34.
And Sam Newman celebrating here on the box.
I tipped this.
It's North Melbourne working up toward the centre. Carey, big fly, but free kick to the Saints. Going to go to Big Everett. He goes wide, finds Anderson. Anderson kicks long for St Kilda. Oh, Stewie, good mark. I was pretty critical of Lowe in the first half. I know the ball wasn't delivered all that well to him. I didn't think he was providing much of a presence across that half-forward line. Wasn't really creating himself as a moving target, but that time got out in front and took a good grab.
Well, he staged for a couple of those in front earlier on in the game. The last one was a definite free kick, which he kicked it behind from, and that one he didn't stage at all. He just held his ground and just took it out of the air in front of his opponent.
Now, I might back him here. He's about 3 metres closer in. That might just make all the difference. And it has. Good stuff, Stewie. That's a good goal. St Kilda, 5-3-33. North Melbourne 11-10-76, and that's on the Synovus Vitamin scoreboard. 6 minutes here into the third quarter at Waverley Park.
And thank you very much, KB at Optus Ovals for Harry Liquormarket.
Melbourne by 37 points, 11-5-71, Hawthorn of 5-4-34.
Carlton lead by 42 points over Collingwood. Bounce to the ball soon. Back to Peter Dacos, Gary Bryce at Western Oval.
Footscray lead by 1 point there, 10-4-64. Geelong 10-3-63.
The umpire's got the football and he's going to bang it into the ground. The shadow just making that ground there to the circle, knocked out by Everett, went across, and it was kicked in the air over there by Pekin. It came out left half forward flank where Frost and Laidley did battle. Coming in, Scholl for North Melbourne, fell over. He goes there, hand pass to Rock. Rock hand pass it further afield, got it to Mann who threw the football. Play on said the umpire, picked up by Frost and he hand passed to Bailey who was too close. Bailey's hand pass went to Harvey. It came out to Clarkson. Oh, that's rubbish! Oh, get out of it. I'm not saying anything, but that's a disgrace. That is a disgrace, that decision.
Clarkson got one for over the shoulder, drove down looking for Big McKernan, far too strong for Harvey and Lappin in the air, and McKernan 60 metres from goal's got the mark, gets the lead up from Longmire, decides to kick longer, in the McAdam direction. Carey's there as well. Can't take the mark. Kick off the ground will do from Longmire. Plenty of red, black and white jumpers near the footy. They tie it up on the edge of the goal square. He hasn't gone for a ball up. Lappin's emerged with a footy. This is a young goer, this kid, who might just be a fair footballer. He's wobbled one along the boundary line. Found Peckett, back pocket. He hand passes to Nathan Burke. And they reach defensive 50. Burke's kicked very, very high. Bailey's got through to beat Crocker, Scholl and Laidley. At least brought it to the ground. Well done. Damon Shaw goes in, gets it across to Anderson. St Kilda playing better. Long kick looking for Lowe. He's got Fairley to beat. Bounces past both. Down to attacking 50 for the Saints. Fairley's there first. Finds the safety of the boundary, and it's over for a throw-in.
I'll say something here. You've got the umpire there who sees man throw the ball in the air and then punch it and declare it a hand pass. A bloke is pulled below the shoulder and he's given it around the neck, I ask you. Now, they must be accountable. I know you'll get another letter, Shane, but they're not in glass houses, these guys.
Here's the throw-in, 85 metres from St Kilda goal. Crocker takes it out of a Damon Shaw tackle. St Kilda playing with a lot more intensity here. Ball comes to the wing. Carey, a good tackle on him. And the tackler was Peckett. Looks for Scholl, and it's over for a throw-in. Now, look, there's a margin of 43 points here. I don't think anybody in their right mind would give St Kilda one snowflake's chance in hell, as Sam Newman would say, of getting back into the game to win it. But their intensity is really lifted. They're putting pressure on North now and making sure the Roos don't get too many easy kicks. At the throw-in, Clarkson goes in, kicks one off the ground. It's beyond centre for North Melbourne. Stevens and Lappin. I like this little Lappin. That time fell over the top of the footy. Rock goes in. He's under pressure. Keogh almost scooped it out. In the end, it landed on the centre line. Blakey lost it. Went to Peekett. Saints on their way. Anderson now. He'll be looking for Lockett.
He's gone down there with Lockett and Market. Lockett goes up, punches it away. Martin played beautifully on Lockett all day. He's out there and hand pass in front of himself looking for Fairley. And the football rolls and rolls and rolls over the boundary line and out of bounds. A galloping Gourmet out at Western Oval.
Geelong lead by 5 points, 11-3-69. Footscray 10-4-64.
Stewart Lowe. And young Isle of Man for North Melbourne. Low man, low man. Laidley over the back, got it down. It went down. Anderson got a quick kick out of the pack. And it's going to go over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. Yes, Sammy boy, talk to me on 3RW football.
Well, it sounds like I'm defending Lockett, but he needs no defence. But that time he did come out in front of Martin, and what happened? They kicked it over his head. So he's perhaps a little out with his judgment because he's been out for 8 weeks, and maybe they're a little out in their attitude to playing him.
Kid, we'll just take a moment to just say these kids haven't played with Lockett for 8 weeks, and that's got to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, it's showing a bit because they have struggled to work to him on leads today. Now North Melbourne in that classic style, work it up the centre corridor. Rock gets the lead from Longmire. He's a long way in front of Shanahan. Got a push. I thought it might have been a free. Umpire disagreed. Ball hits the ground 60 metres from North Skull. In goes Allison, been quiet since quarter time. St Kilda tied up again, getting numbers to the footy. Bailey working hard. He's done that all day. Anderson's in there as well. In goes big man of North Melbourne. It's rolling to the boundary. Peckett's there as well. No one able to get a clear possession. Free kick to the Saints. Who was on the bottom of that got the push?
No one.
Well, that's what I wondered. Timmy Pekin. Playing game number 200. Back pocket. Might bring it across the ground to Frost here. No, decides to go down the other side. Stay on the sunshine. That's a good idea. He'll look for David Grant, who might be playing more of an on-ball role now. We'll get Sam to check that up. It wobbles toward the boundary, and it's over for a throw-in.
KB, your score at the MCG for Harry's Liquor Markets.
Melbourne by 45 points, 12-7-79. The Hawks 5-4-34.
And the ball comes spinning back into play. It's left half forward flank for North Melbourne. Going up Big Everett. Like the big dinosaur, he got it down looking for Burke, couldn't get it across. Picked up by Clarkson, spun around his body to half forward looking for Carey. Punched away by Frawley of St Kilda, went to Jack Frost. Here's Keogh. Keogh hand passed it across towards Lappin, who was collected. Kicked off the ground by McKernan. He got it inboard, picked up by Pickett of St Kilda. Pickett now puts it down. Hand pass to Robert Harvey, watch out. He'll hand pass inboard towards Frawley, who dropped it like a hot tack. It came out to Allison, it could make them pay. On the ball is Carey. Carey gets it on towards Man. Isle of Man. Man has kicked a magnificent point. And it was a magnificent point, probably deserved more. as the trajectory of the football died as it came from the sky and went the wrong side of the stick.
Unbelievable.
And Melbourne, North Melbourne, 11-11-77, St Kilda 5-3-30. It might be unbelievable, Shane, because when you get into the little man's seat, you can give me the flick and I can go fishing. That suits me fine.
Well, just don't do it in the next 20 years, Big Rexy. Here's the kick out, and Nathan Burke on a lead at the kick out takes the mark in front of Johnny Longmire. 77 the Roos, 33 the Saints. We are 12 minutes into the third quarter on the St Overs Vitamin scoreboard. Grant marks here on the halfback flank. He finds Frost with a good grab, shepherding against Lappin. Tough, I thought. Crocker to get the free kick for North Melbourne. Forward of the wing, we know what a big kick he is. He'll go looking for Carey. Pack rises, no one can mark. Pekin was at ground level. He didn't really look when he kicked that. Here's courage from David King, running with the flight of the ball. Took a terrific mark in the centre of the Waverley Park. Wearing the long sleeves as King, the export Melbourne player. Looks for Longmire. Big thump away from the defenders. One of those was Shanahan. At ground level, McAdam took it, kicked it very high, hoping for Stevens. But Harvey did terrifically to take the mark. They play on. Keogh's well shepherded for by Lappin. They're fiddling a little bit, but he gets it to David Grant, who kicks it along the outer wing. That's good play. Now finds Bailey, and Bailey kicks to Lowe, who's got away again. They can get Lowe working on half forward. They look a different side to me, St Kilda. Lowe's got it 2 kicks from goal. Where are you, Plugger? Now he's out in front. The kick's not good. Gave him no chance. Laidley came in from the back. Thumped the ball away. Chance for the Saints. In comes Pekin. Tried to get the hand pass working to Peckett. In the end, just didn't work. But Sam, St Kilda, this quarter at least looking a competitive unit.
Yes, they're certainly playing with all they've got going for them. As a matter of fact, Shane, that's a bit of heart. They've got not much else going at this stage.
Furley versus Lowe in the forward pocket. Deep into attack for St Kilda, who've just kicked the 1 goal this quarter. That's the only goal in this quarter. And it's gone 14 minutes, and it's deep into attack, and it's going to be a bounce down again, as either umpire Pfeiffer, Prince or Kennedy is going to bounce it. And Dakes, your score at the MCG. Thank you very much.
Collingwood 4-6-30, trail Carlton by 33 points, 9-9-63.
Thank you very much. Knocked out by Everett. The hand pass came out towards Rock. Rock kicked it out. Here comes Keogh. Keogh lines it up, and Keogh kicks a goal. Saints get another one, and they go to 6-3-39. North 11-11-77, Lord Nelson. 14.5 minutes in the third term. St Overs Vitamin scoreboard. Don't look at me like that, kid.
Well, I mean, Sam, I'm just interested in your comment. They were playing only with heart. I mean, they've got 2 of the best forwards in the competition. They've got some good players around the ground. They're actually, I reckon, playing fair footy this quarter. You reckon it's only heart?
No, you'll find that intensity and heart will overcome a lot of things. And just to answer your question about Grant playing on the ball, no, he's playing back on McAdam. He just followed the play up in that instance you referred to.
Thanks for that. OK, McKernan got the tap down. Stevens came through. A very clever little dink with a left foot kick off the ground for Scholl to run onto. He's got it 60 from goal. They could have a goal here, North. Clarkson's got McAdam on a lead, just couldn't mark. Ball was just a little bit high. Grant put the pressure on. It wobbles toward the forward pocket. Stevens, McAdam still on the ground in the van. McAdam kick off the ground. Oh, hit the post. Oh, gee whiz. We know he can create a goal out of nowhere, McAdam. And that one, a little left foot kick off the ground from the forward pocket, almost got through. Peckett kicks out. He'll find Timmy Pekin back pocket. Runs away from his opposition, number 41, McAdam. Drives wide, hoping for Damon Shaw. He's got Archer and Peter Mann to beat. Archer's shepherd was terrific. Allows Mann to grab the ball with consummate and drive back to centre half forward. McKernan's up. Good spoil Everett. Who's down? Saints are down. Well done. They'll run it off defence. 1 bounce now. That's Peckett. Gets the hand pass moving to Grant. He's on defensive 50. Oh, he's run into trouble. Got rid of it just in time to Lappin. True centre half back. He chips across the ground. So they're back where they started. Pekin gives it to Frost. Frost's hand pass is smothered. Tries a second time. Gets it to Nathan Burke. They're beginning to play better, St Kilda here. You can feel it.
They've got a bit of guts and determination. Lockett is there over the top. Martin punched it. Got a fingernail to it. Here comes Ross Smith racing. Hand pass out to Martin. Martin takes a bounce in the goal square. Runs out and bounces it again. He's on the half-back flank and kicks it out to Vars. The centre half-back position. Going in. King takes a nice mark. Spurts away. Drives it long to centre half forward for North Melbourne. Looking down there for Carey. Up to is Frawley. It came up the top of the pack and McKernan picked it up and kicked it inside 50 to Longmire. He dropped it. Pekin guts and determination through the arms of Lappin. Look at this kid go. He's only 11, the kid, and he's playing football at its highest level.
Got a kick.
And he's got himself a Kilda salutes you, my son.
Well, he might actually be on his way to the Melbourne Oyster Bar, but the problem will be whether Mick Canavardi will let him in the door. Anyway, here's the kick along the half-back flank. Members side, and Danny Frawley has been paid the mark. And St Kilda, 6-3-39.
We've got some McDonald's vouchers, so he'll be contented for that.
He's the only bloke that arrived at the ground in a pram.
St Kilda 6-3-39. North 11-12-78. Saints having a red-hot go in this ring-ding-dinger third quarter. Pekin takes it, gets a shove on the back on the wing. Look, if they can get a bit of momentum, don't write them off, St Kilda. They'll chip across toward the centre of the ground. Anderson's there. It might fall for Harvey here. He can run onto it at half forward. Low goes in. Harvey's there now. Kick off the ground would have done, but great defence. Fairley works it across. Nathan Burke takes it onto Anderson. 60 from goal.
Come on,
Take
Plugger.
one, Plugger. Yeah!
No.
Oh, he's called play on again.
Oh, well, you wouldn't pay that, Shane. Bondi, you wouldn't pay that, would you? No, Mark. Good God, man.
Well, the umpire said no.
Well, have a look. Have a look again.
No one's arguing this time.
Come on.
He got the left hand on it. He controlled it. He pulled it in. And then Martin spoiled. It was a mark.
It was not a mark.
Here's the score. 6-3-39 St Kilda. 11-12-78 North Melbourne. Can we get Plugger a mark before the end of the day?
The game has livened up without Tony Lockett putting the ball onto his boot. And still at this stage of the game, St Kilda well down the tube. Here's King. Ringer, Rosie. Got it out. Clarkson. A quick kick out of the pack. Went to Allison through his hands. Peckett is grabbed by Mann. Isle of Man. And KB for Harry's Liquor Markets. Your score out there with the big fellow at Optus Oval.
Bang, 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 and they lead by
Hold up out
58
there.
points.
Someone's got a gun.
So they've gone to a 58-point lead. 14-8-92. Hawthorn a 5-4-34. Jakovic has booted 6 and Schwartz has booted 3, and they've gone berserk.
Bondi and I have backed Melbourne, KB. The only problem is we've only backed them up to 60 points. Tell them to stop.
Well,
Here comes, sorry, I'll come back to you in a sec. Here comes the Saints, down to full forward. Shaw was the target. He just couldn't win that battle, but he still put pressure on. North Melbourne under intense pressure and looking ordinary this quarter. Clinton Shaw takes the ball, gets it to Frost. He tried to find Pekin, bad handball. Ramiro chips in. It's at the front of the square for St Kilda. Out comes Frost again. Took a long time to get rid of it. Now to Dean Anderson. Can kick a goal here. He's on 50. Lowe's coming back and just couldn't mark it in the goal square. Another point to St Kilda. 6-5-41 the Saints. 11-12-78 the Roos. 19 minutes third quarter. KB, back to you for Harry's.
Well, Jason Dunstall's just kicked his first goal at the 23-minute mark of the third term. So we've got Melbourne now lead by 52 points.
They couldn't be having this much fun in the cemetery. They tell me that it's a lot of fun, but I doubt whether they could be enjoying life like I am here today.
I'd be struggling.
Thank you very much. And the football now kicked out over there by Ross Smith, and Crocker goes up and takes a good mark. He hand passes off to Laidley. Now this is on right half-back flank for North Melbourne. He goes centre wing. Carey versus Frawley in a football game that is starting to turn. And Frawley takes the free kick against Carey. Clearly best on ground in first half. Stuart Lowe leads from the back fairly. Can't get to the big fellow. Over the top, O'Brien versus Laidley. Laidley versus O'Brien versus the boundary line.
Ooh.
And he's pinged him, Laidley, for deliberately out on the bounds area. And O'Brien will line this up. Clearly, St Kilda have lifted, playing on heart, guts and determination and youthful experience in brackets with young Lappin. And I can tell you now that at least the fans are seeing the kids having a go. As O'Brien is well outside the boundary line, he'll come in now and kick from the white chalk and kick the football behind the stick. So St Kilda clickety-click 42, 6 goals, 6-42. North Melbourne are 11-12-78. That's on the Synovus Vitamin scoreboard. And who to? Gary Bryce, your score out of Western Oval.
We're at the 17-minute mark and Footscray lead by 1 point. 11-5-71 to Geelong 11-4-70.
Good on your barrel for Harry's Liquor Markets. Carlton doing it easily, so are Melbourne. North Melbourne comfortably here, but you sense the Saints, they could kick a couple with maybe Plugger or Lowy just to lift them a little bit. Who knows what might happen. North struggling. They've scored a Bailey's taken a great mark when they kick out. Hand passes backwards. It was a strange decision, but now they can kick long again, the Saints. Very high. O'Brien's jumped high. Couldn't take the mark. It might fall for Stewie Lowe on 50. No, got a bad bounce. In goes McKernan. Well done. Oh, he's been buried in a big tackle. St Kilda holding it in their forward line. This is what's terrific this quarter. Now Clarkson brings it out to Fairley, and they're going to clear this time, the Roos. And Stevens, quiet. Kicks on left foot along that far wing to a Carey-Frawley battle. Frawley got in front. Terrific work and finds the safety of the boundary. I'm enjoying that Frawley-Carey battle that's scored us, Sam.
Yeah, it's a terrific battle. Carey well on top of Frawley, but Frawley with tremendous heart and experience, playing him very tight. Now there's a pushing and shoving match down here.
Carey wants to fight. Now this is what I'd pull him off the ground now if I was Pagan. I'm serious, because this is a danger time for Carey. As the ball comes out from Shashenko, it went out towards the rock. He fell over, picked himself up, went for the free kick, picked up Anderson, made them pay. To right half forward, Stuart Lowe nearly took a perler. Fairly, the fisherman from Williamstown, got a hand pass out to Laidley. He put the boot into the ball and it goes skimming and burning across the turf and over the boundary line.
And out of bounds.
Now, Rex, Wayne's got to be absolutely aware that they'll be onto him like a tree full of owls. They've got to... Absolutely, he's just got to put up with being checked and tagged and perhaps even harassed. He's just got to play the ball again.
Here's Peckett, good hand pass across. Is that a Harvey bursting? Now a goal here, but he's kicked it out in the full. Gee, a goal there would have been just so valuable. They've peppered away at the goals this quarter, Saints, but there's still 6 goals behind. It's North 11-12-78, St Kilda 6-6-42. Australia's premier football coverage right here on 3AW and 36 associated relays around Australia as North brings it back into play again. Big pack rises, no one can take the mark. They're busy at ground level. Peckett and Burke all working hard. Little Lappin's been another and they're on their way back into attack again. A chance now for Anderson to kick down, hoping for O'Brien. Smith got his body in front for North. It's wobbling toward the forward pocket, 30 metres from St Kilda's goal, and it's over for a throw-in.
Now, they've done a terrific job, St Kilda. They've reduced the half-time deficit by 13 points. That is, they're better this time round, 13 points better off. Did you understand that, Shane?
Spinning back into play comes the football, knocked out by Big Everett, went towards Nathan Burke, picked up by Stuart Lowe, who copped one across the top of the cranium.
That kick a goal, Stuart.
And Stuart is outside 50, and these do test him for his accuracy. Not a long ball player at the best of times. He's dead-eye Victorian from within 30 to 35 metres, but this one will test, although one of his 2 goals has come from outside 50. A 45-degree angle on the right half-forward flank is Stuart Lowe. And Stuart Lowe puts the ball on its way for behind the stick, in fact behind the small stick, and he just had to pull that football trying to get the extra distance. It was a 15th off kickable distance, and St Kilda 6-6-42 to North Melbourne 11-12-78. KB, your score, please.
3/4 time, and Melbourne lead by 47 points, 14 goals, 9-93. The Hawks are 7-4-46.
Thanks, KB. Great day for the Demons there at the Optus Oval. McKernan has taken a good mark from the kick-out. Drives in the Carey direction. Oh, good grab, Grant. He can open up the game and give it to Anderson at the front of the square. Maybe a goal coming up onto Damon Shaw. Now young Clinton Shaw. Bad handball. He had Doug Bailey on his way, but Archer intercepted, and the St Kilda forward thrust is gone for the moment. In goes Nathan Burke. Tries to work it back to Clinton Shaw. Half forward flank out of side. Umpire says, give it to me, old ball up. And maybe just over-possessing once or twice too many there, the Saints, as they were heading very, very impressively toward goal down at the main scoreboard end. We have got a ball up on St Kilda's half-forward line, but North able to bring it away. Scholl looks for Carey. Got out in front that time, tapped across to Stevens. It's now on North's half-forward line. Lappin chasing terrifically. Stevens kicks to McAdam, who's in good position. Got it? No. Great last-minute spoil by Grant. It's back outside North's attacking 50 now. Chance for Schloss. Hand passes backwards to King, linking well, but it's back on the centre line now, and King's kicked it straight up in the air. Very ordinary kick. It'll wobble back toward King, who takes his own kick. Tries to beat the whole field. He does. Gets around Shanahan. Ran too far. It was a great individual effort, but in the end, a fair free kick.
And bad luck for Pekin, who did the right thing. He ran out to get the ball, but the ball bounced straight back from where it came on that spinning motion, and King managed to gather the ball, in fact, that he kicked, and lucky for the Saints that he was pinged for too far.
Peter Dacos at the MCG for Harry's Liquor Markets.
21-minute mark. Carlton 11-10-76 lead Collingwood 4-10-34.
Gary Price at the Western Oval.
23-minute mark, third quarter, a 1-point lead to Footscray, 11-5-71, Geelong 11-4-70.
Stuart Lowe just took a magnificent strong mark in in the centre of the pack and goes down to Everett. Everett comes out, can't take the mark. Jackson stations for North Melbourne. Ishenko hand passing to Laidley. Laidley ran away from Everett. Everett brought it across his body back to the wing position. Frost punches away from McKernan. It came out to Peckett. Peckett broke away in the pack. Another goal will be handy for the Saints. Here comes O'Brien. And windscreens O'Brien has marked it, but far too far out from goal. And he kicks it into the pack. Now there you are. Well,
interesting there. He, as soon as the siren went, he thought that he'd run round and have a shot, but of course as soon as he ran off the mark, was play on. So he was saying, look, how could you say the game was over until you saw the ball stop? But the ball had stopped as soon as he played on.
Well, St Kilda in that quarter kicked 2 goals for, and North Melbourne kicked 3 behind. So it was a game of defences and trying to get it going. But there's still big trouble for St Kilda because there's still 6 goals down. And what are you pointing at, Shane?
Stan's taking them out to the other side again.
Yeah.
As he did at quarter time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, they've got to look their people in the eye, and I won't say it. Thank you very much.
Opponent Creddy Hook's doing a pretty good job on him, and the ball really hasn't been delivered to him with any sort of semblance of skill. And Brownless has sort of, I think, a couple of times cut off his lead by playing too close to him. Brownless at centre half forward today.
Pressure's on Barrel. One word. Who's going to win at the Western Oval?
Footscray.
Okay, 11-12-78 North. St Kilda 6-6-42. Carlton's giving Collingwood a thumping at the MCG and continuing on their brilliant form. So the big crowd match has turned into an absolute flop there. Dakes after the break, and well, looks like the Demons have got Hawthorn stitched up at Optus Oval. Extended coverage with KB and Al Martello, including interviews from both rooms after the game. But right now a break on 3AW football.
At the Junction Oval, Melbourne have finished training, and Melbourne skipper Gary Lyons here for Foster Special. Gary, the 88 grand final, a special moment.
Indeed, it was a special moment for us, Tone, right up to the point where the umpire raised that ball in the air, blew his whistle and bounced it for the start of the match. That was about the end of it.
Yeah, because the Hawks had a good day that day.
They had a fair day. I think it's a record winning margin in the grand final, so the special moment did stop about 2 o'clock.
That special moment with Melbourne skipper Gary Lyons was brought to you by Foster Special. A special beer, a special taste.
G'day, Rusty the Kelpie here. Just having a gander at your local home hardware store. Not a bad one either. There's your household and garden hardware. Bathroom, electrical, outdoor and indoor hardware. There's timber and paints and gifts. The prices are beaut and there's no shortage of service and advice. So have a gander at your local home hardware store. Yep, they reckon there's no place like home. And I reckon they're right.
Tonight on Channel 7, let your imagination run wild with Lois and Clark as Superman is banished from Metropolis. That's at 7:30. Then at 8:30, wild is the word for the antics of TV's unstoppable new host, Doug Mulray. And at 9:30, Roy Scheider and Anne Margaret are caught in a web of adultery and blackmail in the first release 52 pickup. That's tonight on Channel 7.
Shane doesn't want to stay away, but soon his back will be okay. Working, work covers working.
Yeah, got to admit the work cover people were right. My back did get better pretty quickly at work. Staying at home hadn't done much for it at all, really. I reckon being at work with everyone keeps your spirits up, and actually doing something useful keeps you a lot fitter, that's for sure.
It's working, work covers working.
They seem pretty pleased to see me too.
Hello, lads. Now, everybody knows to make a good pie takes time. In fact, it was 8 years ago, about the same time Scotland's finest malts were distilled to make the bells I'm drinking now, that Collingwood put a pair of football boots on a junior discus champion, Severio Roca. Like I said, good pies take time. And now, like my bells, young Savs come out of the woods to star.
Bell's Scotch Whisky. Genuine character, 8 years in the making.
Most of the World Cup action will be in America, but there'll be a lot in Lygon Street. I'm Neil Mitchell. On Monday, I'll bring you the program live from the middle of it. Join me from 8:30. Now back to Rex and Shane.
And St Kilda into attack. Wakeland Lockett's got one. Plugger's taken a mark on the edge of the goal square at the start of the last quarter. The ball whisked out of the centre by Wakeland. The long kick. And Plugger has marked at the edge of the goal square right at the start of the last quarter. We're 20 seconds in.
And that opportunity came because Lowe bent down and got the ball on the half volley, hand passed it to the kicker, and he got it down to Lockett, who took a really strong mark.
Well, let's have a listen to the crowd. They've waited all day for this. There it is. He's finally done it. Good on you, Plugger. He's got one through. Look, this might sound absolutely ridiculous. It's probably beyond the realms.
They've kicked the last 3 goals in a row.
And there's only 5 goals in it. And if they can get Lockett and Lowe firing, everybody in Australia knows they're a fair dinkum decent team. Anyway, it's a long way to go. 48 St Kilda into a little bit of a breeze. We'd reckon they probably couldn't win. North 78, Makita and Home Hardware scoreboard.
You've only got a bit, look, it's confidence. It's like 5 years ago when the bank came to me and tried to take my house. I knew I was just about to, I said, I can just smell something coming, you know, and now St Kilda can smell something, Sam.
Oh, I can smell something.
The football's, the football's back in the centre of the ground. It's put down. It's knocked out by Ashenko. It went through towards Wakeland, who tackled him, but it came out Blakey's way and kicked it forward looking for Carey. From behind Frawley. Gee, does he give 110%? The ball out to Bailey. Bailey of St Kilda hand passing to Burke. Burke kicked it down towards Harvey. Harvey couldn't get in the action, but Scholl did. A gigantic giraffe kick went inside 50 looking for McAdam. Grant is over there, so too is Shanahan. Shanahan of St Kilda saw Grant go in and tackle the football, but the umpire said it was over the boundary line and out of bounds. The galloping Gourmet out at the Western Oval.
Almost ready to go in the final quarter. The siren's gone. Umpire about to bounce the ball. 1 point lead to Footscray, 11-5-71. Geelong 11-4-70.
So a potential ring, ding, 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 dinger. In the words of our little champion, Kevin Bartlett, as the football's back into play. A 50-metre penalty on Everett. This will lift St Kilda. Dake, are you still there at the MCG?
We're ready to start the last quarter here, Rex.
And the score, please.
11-10-76, Carlton lead by 41 points. Collingwood 4-11-35.
And here's the Everett kick now. He looks for young Wakeland. Good grab. No, not paid. Had 2 or 3 bites forward of centre. Well, North are making all the mistakes in the book here. Laidley might be dispossessed. No, he followed up, did well. Gave it to Ashenko off half back. Kicks down to the centre. All St Kilda. Anderson's been good. No talk. He was run down from behind. They've got numbers here, St Kilda. Still should work it forward through Harvey. He'll kick long in the low direction. Can he take one? No, Wakeland. Good mark. Plays on. Down to Plugger. Can he take it? No, Ashenko's there. He filled the hole. Great play. It did drop short. That breeze is still there.
He went to torpedo and he just should have just... Look, this will be pointed out. The kids are having a go, Rexy. Just get them off their back. But you can feel for the kids here. They're making mistakes. We all make mistakes. Look at my head. Off the back line goes Allison to centre half forward. Down to the pack it comes. It went out to King, who's been marvellous. King weaves his way through the pack, and King has kicked a magnificent point. One flag. North Melbourne 11-13-79, St Kilda 7-6-48. The kids are having a go, and it's terrific. KB across to you at Optus Oval, son.
Melbourne by 40 points, 14 goals, 9-93. Hawthorn 8-5-53. Hudson's lining up from 15 metres out.
So Peckett kicks it to Grant. Grant now in the back pocket will kick it over the top back to Shanahan, who marks it with the glove. The glove at one has got it right in front there of the Channel 7. I'm Rex Hunt, you're not signed. He kicks it outside 50. Down towards the wing position, Ashenko higher than a kite. It went out towards Harvey. The hand pass by Damon Shaw was found by Anderson. Anderson St Kilda high. It was a kick. And standing his ground is Crocker. And Crocker heard the herd of buffaloes coming, not from Dancers with Wolves, but from several St Kilda players led by Keogh. And Crocker can have a kick.
Well, he gets the lead from his captain, but Frawley came out with him. It's 40 metres from North's goal. They haven't kicked a goal in the second half, North Melbourne, and for a side in the top 3 or 4, that's disappointing. Anderson's got it now for the Saints. He's kicked poorly, straight to Blakey. That's his problem, Anderson. Gives it away too often. Blakey down looking for Longmire. Frost and Shanahan there to spoil danger. Through comes Schwartz to kick off the ground. But it's a rush point. North Melbourne 11-14-80. Makita and a Home Hardware scoreboard. St Kilda 7-6-48. 5 minutes last quarter.
There's a strange thing. McKernan didn't start on the ground at the beginning of this last quarter, which is a very strange move, I would have suggested.
So the ball came out. It was kicked out towards Burke. And Burke gets it down to my little boy Lappin. Little boy Lappin goes across the ground and beautiful play towards Jack Frost. Frost will run away from Ellison. He'll get it out there towards, that is Pekin playing his 200th game. Timmy Pekin joining the great club of the AFL's legends. He goes in towards goal. Not half forward, I should say, wherever it is. Stacks on the mill, kicked off the ground by Pekin. It went out towards Frost. He hand passed it in further afield, looking for Anderson. He turned around and kicked it down towards Lockett. Lockett and Martin. Lockett! Big man who loves greyhounds like I love my missy has taken the mark just 25 metres out in front of goals. Liven it up a bit anyhow. It was getting like a funeral parlour here. So Lockett, you would say you could mark this down with a great man, and bang! It's a goal! St Kilda on the way back, well and truly. They haven't kicked a goal since half-time, North Melbourne. Correct. 6:54 North, 11:13:79. Before I go to you, Sam Bondi, just tell us how this has taken place.
Well, St Kilda kicked the first and only 2 goals in the third quarter. They've kicked the only 2 goals in this quarter, 4 unanswered goals. Dean Anderson's given them great drives since half-time. He's had 12 kicks. Robert Harvey's had 4 kicks and 6 hand passes. And Stewie Lowe's been very good after half-time with 5 kicks and 3 marks.
And we've said all along that Lockett can't win the game unless you can get the ball down to him, and that's exactly what they've done thanks to some improved play by Stuart Lowe.
Well done, Clarkson of North Melbourne. Kicks the ball off the ground after the bounce. Out to a McKernan versus David Grant battle. You'd back Grant at ground level. He got there first. McKernan laid a good tackle, but there's red, black and white jumpers getting to the ball first all the time now. And Keogh, the boy from Castlemaine, drives looking for Damon Shaw. He's marked in front of Archer. Good young kid, this kid with the red hair. St Kilda's got a sniff here. It's 54-79. And now there's a mark to Wakeland, giving them good movement on half forward. He's back on the centre line. Kick it to Plugger there, screaming. They've gone long. Ishenko fills the gap. O'Brien almost outmarks him. Ball hits the ground. Lowe should have been kicking in danger to him. Wasn't paid. Laidley took it of North Melbourne. Went wide, hoping for Shoal. He's disposed of by Nathan Burke, who dives on the footy oh so desperately and will get a free kick. 25 points is not impossible.
He hand passed it out to Keogh. Here comes St Kilda. Here comes O'Brien. Beautiful mark, Ross Smith. He came in front of the pack and took a good mark. He's going to hand it off towards Fairley. Fairley will bring it towards the boundary line. It'll bounce, and it'll bounce. And yibbida, that's all that's over.
You made a very good point there, Shane. That should have been a free kick to Stuart Lowe. Kick in danger, because after the contest, he wrung his hand for about 30 seconds after that clash.
Spinning back into play goes the football, knocked out over there by Big Wakeland. It went down to Stevens, and let's go to Gary Bryce at Western Oval as it goes over the chalk here, Galloping Gourmet.
6-minute mark, Footscray lead by 8 points, 12-6-78, Geelong 11-4-70.
Thank you for that. Back into play comes the football now, and it comes back into view, and it's knocked out over there by Everett. It went out to Harvey, who's magnificent. Fresh air shot went to Blakey, hoiked it out the back, tunnel ball style. Over the top, David Grant got a hand pass out, looking for Anderson, can't get there. Stacks on the middle, and the umpire will bounce. Hayden Kennedy. This is 3AW football as we go to Kevin Bartlett at the Optus Oval.
Melbourne by 40 points, 15-9-99. Hawthorn 9-5-59.
Umpire Hayden Kennedy, like a beach ball in the little man's hands, and he thumps it into the turf, which is being damped by overnight rain and rain today. It came out to Wakeland. A gigantic giraffe kick goes nearly to the half-forward flank. Damon Shaw! Magnificent mark by this little man, and he now kicks it to centre half-forward where Crocker came across the top of the pack. They'll make mistakes, Sam. Oh, we'll all say, oh, but there's kids having a go here, and if we have a war in the next 10 years, we're going to win.
Well, Crocker traverses the square, but it's all Saints again. Grant gets a high tackle. Look, you can feel it here. You've seen enough footy games, all the supporters here, anyone at home to know when a side's on the roll. They've got a flow. Lappin, he's got Carey to beat out here at half-back flank. Cool in the crisis, bad handball, put Keogh under pressure. Back inside to Frawley, the captain of St Kilda. He drives to the front of the square, take a mark, Saints. They can't do so this time. Harvey and Anderson beaten by Ishenko. Terrific work, got it to Crocker. Almost a downfield free kick. He looks down here for McKernan. He's over the top of the footy. Saints one holding the ball. It doesn't come. They won it anyway. Terrific work, Harvey. Receiving from Big Everett. He drives looking for Lowe at centre half forward. Ball bounces to the back. Who can get there? North Melbourne, well done. Fairley brings it off half back. North Melbourne by 25 with the breeze, but but they're struggling, the Roos.
And marking it, Jose Ramiro kicks it from the wing position back into the centre to Clarkson. Clarkson turns on a sixpence and gets it in towards a lead bound down there by Carey. He's out in front of Frawley. Carey gives it to Blakey at centre half forward. Blakey sets sail down towards Longmire. And Longmire is going to hand pass it to the goal square, and St Kilda are going to clear it through Packett. Packett's kicked the worm burner out to the half-back flank where David Grant, the boy from Tasmania, gets it. He spins on a sixpence, kicks it into the face of McKernan, picked up by Allison. Allison kicks it to Longmire, and it'll break your heart.
Would break your
It
heart.
will break your heart, Saints. But these kids are going to have a go. And when they're household names, these kids like Lappin and Wakeland and Bailey and these fellas, you're going to remember the day I died of a heart attack. And they'll say that's the day that Rexy said some character was being built out here as Longmire goes bang, and he's kicked his fifth. That's the difference at the moment. Longmire's got 5 now as North Melbourne get their first goal since half-time. They're 12-13-85 on the Makita and Home Hardware scoreboard. St Kilda 8-6-54 in a ring-ding-ding red-hot go here at the park as Gary Bryce gives us a score from the Western Oval.
Footscray lead by 14 points. We're at the 9-minute mark and they're 13-6-84 leading, Geelong 11-4-70.
And thank you very much.
Well, that might be the one that sinks St Kilda after they were edging back within 4 goals. Here's the bounce in the centre, Ishenko giving North some good value, gets it down. Keogh first hands on the footy. Wakeland playing a big last quarter, emerges with it, tries to give it to Lapp, and he fumbles. Through comes Stevens, gets a little left footer up toward Carey versus Frawley at centre half forward. Again, Saints around the footy. Dean Anderson's owned it in the second half. Kicks long, holds up in the breeze. Ishenko comes across in front there of Bailey and takes a nice mark. Free kick to Crocker anyway. Crocker hand passes inside to Laidley just behind centre. He drives down looking for Carey. Oh, certainly. Oh, he go Frawley 2 shoves. From what I could see, took the mark. No free kick. Mark to Carey. 70 from goal, and he's kicked an absolutely magnificent goal, Carey. That is a classic. Longmire dragged Shanahan down in the square. Shanahan's furious, but it bounced just inside the line and rolled through. And Carey lifts when you need him. 13-13-91 the Roos. 8-6-54 the Saints. And that's on the Makita and Home Hardware scoreboard.
And look, Shane, I reckon Carey did definitely give Frawley a couple of shoves to take that mark. Nothing against Carey. Beautiful play by the man. And what a goal. And just unfortunate about that last goal that North Melbourne got from Longmire from the smothered kick off Grant's boot.
St Kilda trying to bring it off the centre with Packett. Getting a long ball in towards centre half forward, but Ross Smith going up in front of O'Brien and Lockett and taking the mark. He'll transfer play across to Jose Ramiro on the right half-back flank now. He'll punch it down towards wing position looking for McKernan. McKernan from behind is Grant, who punched it down to the ground. It came out towards Scholl. Scholl couldn't get it, but picking it up there is Harvey. Gets a little kick across the ground and it went to Clarkson, unfortunately for the Saints fans. And Clarkson has got Blakey, and Blakey marks on the right centre wing for North Melbourne.
Well, Johnny Blakey didn't start the game on the ground, but he's had a few touches since coming on. He's got a good lead here from Laidley. Bounces past that player. Everett comes out off half-back for the Saints. Runs to the back of the square. Chipped short. Damon Shaw went up. Couldn't just hold the mark. Under plenty of pressure here from Big McKernan, but Saints emerge with a footy again. Anderson. Errant handball. Missed its target there in Everett, but went wide to Grant, who runs along the outer wing and kicks on left foot. Looking for Lowe or Bailey. Bailey's up. Crocker spoils. Rolls to the boundary. In goes the Saints again. They're trying desperately to work it up toward their half-forward line. 13-13 North Melbourne. 8-6 St Kilda. North emerge with the footy. Stevens running off centre. Left footer looking for Carey. Got in front. Couldn't take the mark. Allison roved it. He's on his way. He is danger. Crowd will tell you the story. It's home. It's home. Allison's got 3. And North vault now to 14-13-97 on the Makita and the Home Hardware scoreboard. St Kilda 8-6-54. The margin races out to 43 points. 15 minutes into the last quarter.
Well, they've kicked 3 in 6 minutes, North Melbourne, and they didn't kick one until, 10 minutes in the third
Actually, they've kicked 3 since 4:12, Rex. They've kicked 3 in 4 minutes.
Well,
and they hadn't kicked a goal since about the 20-minute mark of the second quarter.
KB, your score at Optus Oval.
Melbourne by 35 points, 16-10, 106. Hawthorn 11-5, 71. We've played 18 minutes into the final quarter, and Jakovic has booted 7.
How many, Dunstall?
2.
Thank you for that. Here comes St Kilda with Wakeland getting it out of the pack. Goes over the top of Lowe at centre half forward, and here comes Fairley. It's deep into attack for St Kilda, but Ross Smith gives it a hoik across the boundary line, and over it goes. Gary Bryce, the galloping gourmet out at Western Oval.
We're at the 13-minute mark of the last quarter. It's a 13-point lead to Footscray, 13-7-85. Geelong 11-6-72.
What do you reckon there, mate?
Footscray.
And Peter Dacos at the MCG.
5-goal lead to Carlton, 12-11-83 lead Collingwood, 7-11-53.
Thank you for that. The ball punched out by Ishenko, went to Jose Ramiro. It went on to Clarkson, who did a little bit of a good kick, and it went over the boundary line and out of bounds. So North Melbourne are 14-12, make that 14-13-97. St Kilda 8-6-54. And here's the kid who makes all the decisions on this show.
16 minutes last quarter. Margin here, 43 points, right in front of us on the broadcast or members wing, and a big thump away that time by Michael Frost it was, jumping over the back of Bailey, and he's just thumped it back over again for another throw in.
Well, the turning point for St Kilda when they had their momentum up was that kick of Grant's being smothered and the ball going to Longmire. I think they're 25 points down. They just needed to get it up for a 19-point deficit to Lockett, who was starting to get the better of Mick Martin, but I would have to say now that the game and the momentum has been taken from them.
Yep, 3 goals to North has certainly turned it around. McKernan's given away a free kick in ruck here, and it's going to be Doug Bailey to take it. What are his stats, Bond? He's been a pretty fair contributor.
Yes, Bailey coming in for his 9th kick, 7 hand passes and 3 marks.
And chips a little left foot kick, looking for Lowe. Well played North defence to thump it away again. Ball hits the ground. Nathan Burke bulldozing his way through almost rugby style. Takes the ball to within 60 metres of St Kilda's goal. At true centre half forward, we've got a ball up.
And that's an interesting thing also. As soon as North Melbourne thought that Lockett was starting to get on top, they brought Ishenko up to the half-back line as a loose man across him and put McKernan into the ruck.
Took Plugger the whole game to get a grab in front of goal. He's kicked 2 this quarter, but it's not going to be enough as Ross Smith, a real star today, brings it out of North's defence and drives wide here to Anthony Stevens, who's come in and out of the game. Bondi, what are his stats, the little left footer?
Yes, he just had 11 kicks. It was his 12th. 1 kick in the first quarter. He's had 5 in this last quarter, though. He's been fairly good in this final 15 minutes of the game.
Well, he chipped that one along the boundary line, and it's wobbled over for a throw in here on the members' wing. Marginally North in attack now. Makita and Home Hardware bringing you the last quarter action here. It's 18 minutes in. The Roos 97 and the Saints 54.
Knocked out by Everett if St Kilda went towards Lappin. Couldn't get it. It came out to Jack Frost for St Kilda. Grabbed by Jose Marima and kicked forward by Jose. Carey is caught with the football and is going to be penalised. And it's going to be Danny Frawley at centre half back, who's battled gallantly. And it went out to Burke, who kicked it down towards... get out of here, Shane.
He's got the mark. He's on the centre line. Gives it to Damon Shaw. Kicks a left footer. This is a good battle. Ishenko versus Craig O'Brien. 14 feet between them. And in the end, Ishenko brings it down to Craig Scholl, who hand passes off to Rossi Smith. Another stat for him. Right foot kick wide. Blakey, good mark, running with the flight of the footy. Hand passes inside to Allison Hill-Bolt. Good chasing Saints, but Allison hand passes on to Ramiro. Centre half forward, kicks wide, down to the forward pocket. Longmire chasing, close to the boundary. Hand passes over Shanahan, then tries to chase his own ball back. But who was over there helping Shanahan? Little Lappin. He gets the body between Longmire and the footy. Punches it over the boundary line. Earns St Kilda some respite there. Little Lappin, he's a goer, Graham. Has he done okay on the stat sheet?
He's had a pretty good game, young Matt Lappin. 10 kicks and 7 hand passes, so 17 touches.
A lot of little things too, like that little thump over the boundary line as Everett gets it down to Grant. His kick's smothered. It's only 20 metres from North's goal here. Oh, good hand pass from Ramiro to Laidley. I'd reckon we'd pay that, would we? No. Just missed. Snap from Dean Laidley. Little quick lightning handball from Ramiro. So North Melbourne 14-14-98. St Kilda 8-6-54. Melbourne and Carlton looking certain winners, and Footscray holding on against Geelong as the Saints bring it back into play.
Yes, they certainly do, and it's marked over there by young Lappin. By he's been good today, the young boy, and he's going to kick it across towards Frawley, who marks it and runs off the right half-back flank for St Kilda. He's going to spear it down towards the wing position. And and Darren Burke goes up, and that's Bardley, I should say. Who are you pointing to now, Shane? You're just getting a bit ahead of me, son. Gary Bryce at the Western Oval.
Oh, another attempted goal to Geelong, but a point. So it's now a 14-point lead to Footscray still, and we're at the 18-minute mark. Footscray 13-9-87, Geelong 11-7-73.
How many, Ablett?
3.
So Stevens of North Melbourne hand passing to Crocker. Crocker hand pass across to Laidley, and here comes Longmire. A half volley went into his bread basket. He hand passed it to Allison. Intercepted by Anderson, who hand passed to Pekin of St Kilda. Pekin hand passed it to Peckett. Peckett brought it off the back line where Wakeland goes up. Nelly took a good mark. In fact, he'll get one across the top of the scone. And Wakeland will take the free kick and hand pass. Hand pass to Damon Shaw. Shaw hand pass to Wakeland. Picked up by McKernan and hand pass to Archer. Archer has kicked it straight to Allison, who marks it centre half forward. Allison sets sail for home. And yibbida. That is all. Good night. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits, and thank you all, ball boys and linesmen, because that is it. Well and truly, good night, she said, waving her wooden leg, as North Melbourne 15-14, 104, leads St Kilda 8-6, 54.
And how to turn an absolute positive, Graham, into a negative here. Was that Wakeland took the mark?
Yep. Wakeland gave the bad hand pass.
And then gave another one back.
He got the free kick, then gave he 2 bad hand passes in the space of 2 metres.
Got a second one back, and they just intercepted it and kicked a goal. And, of course, if that lost your final, you would,
wouldn't be happy anyway. Here's the bounce in the centre, and Stevens kicks off the ground. North Melbourne now beginning to roar home with a bit of momentum to a pretty handy win. This time they give away possession in centre, and it's Peckett kicking up toward half forward. A chance here now for North Melbourne to clear, and they'll clear comfortably too. Darren Crocker gets the hand pass working, and now on the left foot, that's little Clarkson. Kick poorly directed. Wakeland will be trying to make up for his last indiscretion. Beats McKernan for the footy. Tries to give it to Lapp, and he's dispossessed by a very skillful Corey McKernan, who gives it to Rock, who links up with David King. They reach half forward. David King on left foot, down to Longmire. He's in front, just couldn't take the mark. Who's there to rove it but Carey? Draws a player, tries to get the hand pass working, couldn't do so. Smothers the St Kilda handball, gets it himself, loses it to Pekin from Shanahan. Good defence, Saints. And Pekin will find Anderson right in the centre of Waverley Park. 50 points to the good North Melbourne as Anderson kicks to centre half forward. They keep directing the ball to O'Brien instead of looking for Stewie Lowe. He had 2 big men to beat there, couldn't possibly have won that battle. And Clarkson won it at ground level, kick one down toward the centre. Well played, Keogh, works it across to Dean Anderson. Hand passes backwards, taken here by Grant. Grant up to centre half forward. Again, North Melbourne strong there on half back, and Laidley clears. Brings it across the ground to the wing. Now, Stevens first there. He's got man just on the ground in support, but Frawley beats them and finds Bardley true centre wing.
With a little freep or a follow-up flooper at best. It went 30 metres into the hands of Bardley. To right half forward looking for Stewie Lowe. By Jingo Fairley's been a good player today on low, and the ball punched away by Fairley and over the boundary line.
Fairley has been a terrific player, and they've just taken Carey off the ground. He had his foot stood on back here 5 minutes ago, limping around, so he's off now for protective reasons.
That's good. Knocked out by the big fellow Ishenko. Went to Clarkson. Clarkson is looking for Jose Romero, intercepted by Everett. Went via the Cape. Everett's hand pass went out towards David Grant, putting him in the hospital class. It went out. Everett's hand pass went to Lappin. Lappin's hand pass was intercepted by Romero. Romero got it towards Laidley, who kicked it down to Longmire. It'll bounce into his chest, and he hand passed it off to Ellison, looking for goal number 5. He's at 48 metres. He lines it up and kicks a Concan-Northland goal of the day. Is that 5, Bundy? 5 goals to Ellison. And it's all over here. Red Rover and North Melbourne 16-14, 110. And St Kilda 8-6-54 as the Seagulls come in to consume the congealed chips and pies and ribs and God knows what that's been consumed here today by 21,097 people. And KB, your score at the wherever you are.
At the Optus Oval. Melbourne lead by 38 points. We've played just on 28.5 minutes, and Djakovic has booted 8 goals, and he's just been taken off the field to have a bit of a rest. 17-10, 112, the Demons. The Hawks, 11-8, 74.
So St Kilda go forward. Looking down there. What happened? Who kicked that? Bardsley behind the stick, I think it went, didn't it?
Bad miss.
Yeah, kid. I was looking somewhere else. And St Kilda 8-7-55. They're 1 point away from
8-8.
8.56, brother.
And North Melbourne 16, 14, 110. As Scholl goes out and the footpad just takes a nice mark on the 50-metre line. Kicks it to the wing position. Look at McKernan. Look at them. They can just raffle it. As going up there is Archer. Who are you pointing to now, kid? You want to score from Gary Bryce?
Well, you want to come back in about 5 minutes when they ring the bell and Footscray win, because at the moment they're 27 points up with about 3 minutes to go. The crowd will go berserk. Footscray 15-10, 100. Geelong 11-7, 73.
Longmire takes a mark 40 metres out. How'd the Doug Hawkins day go out there, mate? They couldn't plan it any better?
Well, mate, he had a chance to kick a goal during this quarter. Had he kicked it, it would have been sensational, but he missed. But Footscray's still going to win as Grant kicks his third goal for the day and puts them further in front.
Thank you. And Longmire kicks his sixth goal here, Gary, as North Melbourne 17, 14, 116 just bury St Kilda, who are 8-7, 55. And Bondi, what signal are you giving to me then?
Well, that's 6 goals to Johnny Longmire, and North Melbourne have kicked the last 6 goals, Rex, in the space of 12 minutes.
Thank you. A final score at Optus Oval.
Yes, and Melbourne have won by 38 points. 17 goals, 10, 112. Hawthorn 11-8, 74.
50. Is that 50?
That is 50. Thank you very much. Here's the bounce in the centre, and Bondi and I have backed him on the tote as well. Everett gets it down to Nathan Burke, who wins it out of the centre. Drives up looking for Craig O'Brien. He's been outsized all day by Ross Smith, who spoils. Ball comes to the ground. Fairley getting close to Votes. Drives wide. Out to a King versus Clinton Shaw battle out there. Clinton Shaw got there first. He was tackled by Laidley, dispossessed. Follows up. He's got it again. King tackles him now. And the umpire just letting it go here. Boundary umpire's fallen over. And the ball's gone over for a throw-in. So Melbourne have won, Footscray are going to win, and Carlton just cruising home for 8 in a row. Can anyone beat Carlton? Who do they play next week, Carlton? Geelong at Waverley on a Sunday. That'll be interesting. Just maybe Geelong can upset them. Who knows? They're really going along like they did in the 80s at the moment, the Blues. And here's North Melbourne now, leading on 17-14 to 8-7, trying to work it forward. Through goes Laidley, was it? He lost it. Everett gave it across field now toward Bailey, who kicks up in the direction of O'Brien. Held off the footy. Lappin's going to rove it on attacking 50. Tries to dart out of a Laidley tackle. Couldn't do so. Had a bad last score, little Matty Lappin, but he's been a goer all day. Carey rises out there. McKernan it was. Trying to take a big specking. But in the end, the ball went over for a throw-in on the wing on the far side, the outer side.
Yeah, it took Matthew Lappin off the ground. He's just come on now, he was playing on Ellison. He's on Archer now, so... you know, he's been right up against it with his size and inexperience, but I think he's battled pretty well, Matthew Lappin, today.
Been a goer. As Nathan Burke, talking of goers, drives up to attacking 50 for the Saints. So Plugger's return, well, he's kicked 2. He's almost marked 3 or 4 others within range, but just hasn't been his day. Mickey Martin's done terrifically. And at the other end, Carey, he's kicked 3 and taken a big bag full of marks. Bondi will check that after the game. Dean Anderson now on attacking 50, dispossessed. In goes the busy Allison. Now it's David King, the other player wearing the long sleeves. Drives a wobbler on right foot, very, very wide. He'll be looking over there for Peter Mann. Peter Mann gets it. Tries to hand pass inside. Schwass was actually linking up, but the hand pass didn't reach that player. It's at the front of the square for North Melbourne now. And we're going to have a ball up. It's coming up to 29 minutes in the last quarter. And there's the bell.
And North Melbourne have defeated St Kilda very, very convincingly by kicking 17 goals 14, 116 to St Kilda 8 goals 7, 55.